Hey guys, it's Milka. Welcome back to my channel, NutAeum. It has been a while. Lots been happening in the happens. I'm excited because today's video is a little bit more calm, a little bit more soothing. We'll see how the groups unfold, of course, but that's how I'm feeling at the moment, I guess you could say. And we're going to be taking a look at messages from the ocean and the aquatic realms, and you guys are going to be choosing between 4 seashells. So before we get into the group selections, I did want to say, I don't know if you guys noticed, there was a special appearance of an extra singing bowl here. This one is for the third eye chakra, so this one is the heart and the third eye. But I don't know, this one has really been calling in, and I've been listening to whale songs as I was getting into the mood for this reading as well, and it just felt like we needed to include this one, so I'm gonna ring it one more time, and for each group I'll be ringing this extra singing bowl too. But yes, nice and bright. Okay, also before we get into the group selections, I wanted to do my shameless self-plug that I do in the beginning of all of my readings, letting you guys know that I do private personal readings. I also make custom crystal bracelets, and I do custom affirmation songs, and all of that jazz. So if you guys are interested in those services, you can either reach out to me through the contacts page on my website or through my email, which will be in the description box below. For those of you who are curious about the affirmation songs, I'm going to include a snippet of one of the affirmation songs here. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I let go of my past. I am ready to move on. And now I accept that I know I am enough. Okay, and then as far as the bracelets go, these are a couple of examples. So here's one that actually was inspired by the ocean. You see I've got a pearl here, and oh my gosh, what is it called? What is it called? Blue apatite. Oh, this blue apatite is so beautiful. And I've got a carnelian because, you know what? And pyrite, because this kind of gave off pirate vibes. So yeah, so that's one of them. This is another standard bracelet that I wear all the time. And also there are examples of other crystal bracelets that I've made, just a couple of them. It's not all of the bracelets I've ever made. On my website as well, under the bracelets tab. So for those of you guys who are interested in that. Also, I just wanted to say thank you to you guys who have been commenting on my videos and engaging with my with the videos and giving them thumbs up and all of this stuff, and all of the new subscribers. Thank you guys for being here. I know I haven't gotten to all of the comments yet, but I'm working on reading through them whenever I have time. So yes, thank you guys. Thank you for spending your time and investing your time and for being here. You know, I'm very grateful to you, and I love you very much. Okay, thank you guys. But yes, now let's get into the group selection. So we've got 4 seashells here. Okay, so group 1, this is going to be your seashell. Here we have the seashell here. This is one side and the other side. Okay, for group 2, oops, it's okay. This is going to be your seashell. Okay, here's one side and the other side. Okie doke. For group 3, your seashell. Here we are. Okay. And here's the other side. Say parfait. For group 4, here's your seashell. Give you all the profiles here. And the other side. Okay, so just so you guys know, obviously you can have more than one group. You may not have a group either, or, you know, like in this reading, what I mean to say, you may not have a group in this reading. Maybe if you guys are interested in a current reading, maybe you can check out other videos on my channel. If you feel this one didn't resonate, this one is gonna hopefully be a little bit more gentle. We'll see how it unfolds, of course, but you know, that was kind of the intention. And yeah, so hopefully it does resonate with the majority of you guys. Okay, and like I said, you can have more than one group, and I'm gonna give you a moment to choose your group. Hey, group one, this is your group if you chose this seashell, okay, with two little tips here. And before we get into your cards, I just wanted to do a very light seashell reading. Okay, so I'm gonna set this shell down and I'm gonna ring the singing bowl for you guys, or the singing bowls for you guys. Okay, so give me a moment. Okay. So let's see, what do we have for you, group? Oh, I was gonna say group 3. I meant group 1. You know, I feel like with you guys, this is about the balance between being a nurturer and being for yourself. Yeah, it feels like, because this is a general reading, it can go either way, and maybe we can see how the shell incorporates more throughout the reading with the cards. But it's kind of giving off the vibes of somebody who is naturally a nurturer, and who maybe was a nurturer when they were younger and for a majority of their life, and either are still working through that, or like that is your nature, you know, to be a nurturer. But maybe some of you guys could have started heading towards what's the word? Like self-nurturing more than anything. So I don't want to say like becoming selfish, right? Because that's not what it feels like. It's just like, for lack of a better term, it's like if you were always selfless, like now you're starting to really consider yourself, right? So now that nurturing, you're trying to bring it into yourself, or you're trying to stop giving out your energy to other people as much, and to, again, it's like focusing or honing in on you, right? Because you deserve that love too. And it's like you guys understand that, or know that logically, right? With your mind, you know that. But it's kind of like in the concept, you've got the concept. So you guys, again, it's a general reading, so I feel like there's a pretty broad timeline as to where you guys are on that timeline. But it seems like there's like you guys are starting to kind of either realize these things and implement them, or you've already been implementing them, like you've had the realization before. Okay, but let's take a look at your cards. Okay, we've got, yeah, oh, yep, exactly, correlates to what I just said. So we have the 4 of Pentacles, we have the 4 of Swords, yeah, because that's another thing. It's almost like somebody who has become, it could also be that you guys have become drained, or it's so much easier for you to become tired, because again, it's like you guys are a nurturer by nature, so you give so much. And I feel like your body and your spirit and your soul are trying to give you these signs of like a you don't have the energy to be giving anymore, which is why you're becoming tired. For those of you who are, oh, pardon me, for those of you guys who are tired, and it feels like the ocean and aquatic realms seem to be kind of, because in nature, right, water is nurturing, it is soothing, so it feels like it's coming through with that message, right? But let's keep revealing the cards. Then we have the Five of Cups. Yeah, makes sense. The Ace of Wands, the Five of Pentacles. And you know what, while I was shuffling your cards, a song kept playing in my head, the Four of Swords again. And let me look up what it's called. I think it was like Rising in Love. Hold on, let me see. 1 second. I feel like it could be a nice song to recommend to you guys specifically, which is why I'm looking into it. Yeah, it's called Time for Greatness by Fia, F-I-A. Time for Greatness by Fia. Again, the spelling is F-I-A. So I think maybe it could be nice to look into that song, seeing how you guys like it. Listen to the words, right? It's about the words. Let those words kind of seep through for you. Okay? All right, then we've got the Page of Cups. I haven't used the Linescape Tarot in a while, or in a minute, but I will say, when I pulled it out and started using it again, I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot how beautiful and vibrant these cards are. Like, look, even here, right? Like, these are beautiful cards, but they're a little bit more muted. But this is so vibrant and colorful and like juicy, you know, the colors are juicy. The Six of Wands, okay. We also have Summer. I know that I'm worthy. And speaking of ocean, look at that. We've got, oh, hold on, a fingerprint. We have the Strength card, and it's a beautiful, I think this is a blue whale. Either that or a humpback whale, I'm not sure. But look how beautiful this whale is. So cute, right? Okay. Okie doke. So there's that whale. Then we have the Four of Cups. I was going to say again, but I don't think we got it here, right? Yeah, so Four of Cups. Yep, Death. Makes sense. Then we also have... Y'all, what did I say? What did I say earlier in regards to possibly being drained or tired? We have re-energize. Okay. I want to make sure you guys can fully see the cards. Yeah, and then we have innocence. Solitude. Number 37 with the goddess Kopakati with rebirth. I am reborn. And it's funny because we also have death, so that kind of correlates as well. And let me see if I can actually rearrange these tarot cards so that you are able to... Oh, do not disrupt the flow. Okay. The motion of the ocean. Okay, there we go. I think you should still be able to see them, and that way we can try to fit everything on one screen, one go. Okay. We also have, oh, look at that. 32, Mother of the Ocean, inner child healing. I go within to feel whole. How beautiful. This is so beautiful because you know what? This is kind of correlated with what we were talking about with the whole nurturer thing. So I'm not surprised. Okay. 21, St. Bridget's Well, compassion. I give freely. And then we have an affirmation card, okay, with truth. I live my truth. This is very big too, because you know what? As we were talking about like being a nurturer for others, right? And like how that can be draining and all that. I mean, obviously we're going to get into the reading, but coming to the realization that maybe you genuinely can't give to others, or you can't keep giving to others, or you need to be cutting someone off and all of this stuff, and like, or coming to the realization that you really need your own energy right now, so you just don't have the capacity to be giving to others. Sometimes that's not a pleasant truth, right? Because you genuinely want to be helping the people around you or the people that you care about. But it's important to honor the truth that like, oh, actually, I just don't have that capacity right now. Okay, then we also have Aquarius. Aquarius. When the moon, speaking of new moon, is in the 7th house, and Jupiter aligns with Mars. And then we have, 2 water signs. Look at that. So on theme with the aquatic water messages. We have Cancer, the nurturer, and Pisces, the psychic. And for those of you guys who like numbers, it's 28 and 30. Okay, let me see where I can squeeze these in. Here's one. Oh, I don't like that it's not next to each other. So here, let me, don't scratch my table, please. Okay, there we go. And let us place you here. Let us place you here. All right, guys, give me a moment to put it all together. What is the message for group 1 from the ocean and aquatic realms? Okay. Okie doke. So, all right, group 1. You know, I was about to say group 4 too. So I don't know if you guys are one of the groups that chose more than one group, or if you guys initially chose a group and then you were like, let me pick one more group, and you ended up at group 1 for like a more deeper hidden truth or something like that. But yeah, so it feels like there's a possibility that you guys may have chosen 2 groups. If you only chose group 1, that's totally a-okay as well, because it's a general reading, so this is not going to apply to everyone. Okay. As far as what the ocean and the water realms and oceanic realms have to say to you, to be honest with you, a lot of it feels so nurturing and soothing, and it feels like it is calling you to sleep, okay? I feel like you guys need more sleep. That's a big thing that's coming through here. It's like you need more sleep. Now is the time for rest for you. Now is a little bit of a hibernation time. And it is okay if you are like, oh, but I've been in hibernation mode for like the last how much time and whatever, you know? But the truth is you've been fighting that hibernation mode, right? Maybe you gave in for like a week or 2, but then you started fighting it. And that is the thing that kind of, it keeps you from fully recovering, right? If, for example, you need sleep, if you need to sleep for 5 weeks, this is an exaggeration, but if you needed to sleep for 5 weeks, right? But you only slept for 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks, you're like, well, I mean, I can stay up a little longer. What, am I going to sleep for 5 weeks or something? You know, obviously, it's going to just take so much longer for you to recover because you didn't get the full time of recovery, which would have been the 5 weeks, right? You're skimping out on the 3 weeks and you're giving yourself bits and pieces. So if you only give yourself 3 hours every once in a while, it'll take you so long to fulfill that 3 weeks requirement, right? So that's why some of you guys may be feeling still sleepy or still tired. It's just because there's a lot of energetic shifting going on right now in the world and around you and within you. Okay, like energy is passing by, it's moving through you guys, and you guys are getting ready to shed another layer of skin. So we're constantly shedding our past selves, our old selves, our traumas, constantly. Okay, so whenever you hear that, don't think, oh, but I heard that before. And it's okay for you to feel that way, but the truth is, it's a life journey. It's a lifelong process, and it's something that never stops, you know. So one time you'll shed one layer, and then you'll shed another layer, and then there's another layer, and then you're just like, when does it end? And it ends usually with death, you know, because growth is just a part of life. Change is a part of life. That's something that I feel like the ocean can actually kind of teach us as well, is that even though the ocean is what it is constantly changing, constantly moving, right? Water is constantly flowing. The ocean is constantly moving and flowing. And recently, I was reminded, right, that waves are made out of energy. So like literally the waves in the ocean are made of energy. It's energy pushing the water. So energy and then gravitational force and all this other stuff, but yeah, it's like energy waves that are making actual waves in the ocean, something along those lines. And I was like, I didn't even realize that, you know. I'm sure they taught us that in school, but I just completely forgot it. But I watched a video recently, and I was like, oh wow, I think this sounds familiar, but like this is amazing, you know. And it just shows how much, like, another reason why people are so drawn to the ocean, right? And there's like this energy of life from the ocean. But the point being, the ocean is constantly moving. It's constantly changing. It's constantly shifting, right? It is constant motion. There is not a moment when the whole ocean just stands completely still. There are waves on the top of the ocean. There are waves in the actual layers of the ocean. They have actual waves within the different layers of the ocean, right? With currents and all of this stuff. So it is constantly in motion. It's constantly changing. You're never going to be in the same water. Like every second, the water is changing, right? It's the same thing. Every second we're shedding something, not second, but you know, we're constantly shedding something new. We're constantly releasing another layer, another layer of skin and all of this stuff, right? But yes, all this to say, it's important for you guys to have rest, okay? I feel like part of this, it's almost like there is a little bit of a spiral going on here with how you guys could be feeling, because right now what you need is that self-nurturing, and part of that self-nurturing is giving yourself the rest that you need. But it also seems like there's a lot going on and things to stress about. And then in the times when you're supposed to be resting or relaxing, maybe you're saying, well, oh, let me journal a little bit more and then I'll go to sleep. Or, oh, let me finish reading this and then I'll go to sleep. Or even if you do want to go to sleep, it's like there's something within you that on some level is slightly fighting that sleep. Or trying to push it back, or whatever it may be. Like maybe you actually want to take a nap, but then you're like, oh, but I have stuff to do, but then you actually fall asleep anyway, right? It's like, even if you do actually end up going to sleep, there was an intention to try to stay up, where you're like, oh, but I do have to get these things done, but I just want to keep you know, something along those lines. Like it feels a little bit spiraling in that regard. So we'll see what else comes up here. But yeah, even unless you guys get the rest that you need, because even the Four of Swords requires a lot of rest because it has to do with healing. So you have a lot of healing cards. The Four of Pentacles is about giving to yourself. I mean, look at how she's hugging that pentacle, right? She's opening up her chest and she's looking at her sacred treasures. This is the stuff within, or the stuff that, it's like you giving yourself the nurturing you need, right? But it requires a lot of rest. And it feels kind of, there is a sensation of overwhelm here. that I'm seeing. Again, this kind of feels like fighting or battling that sleep or the rest or whatever it is that you need for nurturing. Like you're trying to either push it, or there's like upset over the fact of how long the process is, or that you're still not recovered or feeling better. Maybe it's also kind of like I had the energy to do all of the things that I wanted to do, but now for some reason I just can't motivate myself to do them, or I don't seem to have the energy to do it. And what I want to say to you guys is it's okay, right? It's totally a-okay. It happens. That's life. But again, it's correlated to that fighting it instead of just accepting that right now is a pausing period for you. Let me see what else I'm getting here. Yeah, with the Four of Swords again, like you see the swords in the snow on the bench. They're just kind of resting. There's not really any energy to keep moving forward. Again, it's like that healing. So yeah, it almost seems like the oceanic aquatic realms are also telling you that inner spark, that creativity, that drive and motivation to do the things that you were doing before, it's still within you. It's just until you get the adequate rest that your body, your mind, and your spirit needs, it's going to be very hard for you to feel the spark, okay? It's not something that just goes out, right? This is something that is meant, it's like a fire that's lit within you permanently, but it's hard for you to sense it, right? Like if your senses are overloaded, then yeah, they're not going to be as sensitive, right? Or receptive. So it's the same thing here. It's a little hard for you to sense it because right now there's just a lot of overwhelm, I would say. And it's with stuff around, like it doesn't even feel like it's just your life. It feels like in general, it's also stuff around you and in the world around you. And you guys are empaths. With all of this water energy, it's very hard to think that you're not. So you guys are empaths, and it's like whatever is going on the planet, in the world, this kind of massive shift, it's really taking a toll on you guys too. Like I said, it's like the energy is passing through you as well. Okay, so it's not something to be blaming, because of this world energy, now I'm feeling this way. Like, no, it's not about shifting. It's not about blame, or especially shifting blame and all that stuff. But again, it's not about blame at all. It's more of a honoring how you're feeling in the moment, even if you're picking up a residual or stuff around you or whatever, honoring how you feel in the moment in response to those things, right? Not blaming or getting upset about how you're handling those things or how your body picks up on them or why they're happening and why they're affecting you, right? Because that's shifting your focus on the negative, and that would be the mindset that kind of, again, turns into that spiral that we were talking about here. Yeah, even with the Five of Pentacles, again, it just looks like somebody who is tired and like, look, this I think it's a wolf, is like its tail is down. It looks tired as it's going uphill to reach the pentacles, to reach the reward. But it's just like, how much longer is there? Like, it's just, again, it just feels like everything, I don't want to say is delayed, but because you're tired, like when you're tired, it's hard to be excited about something, right? So even if you guys are like, but I'm not actually tired, like I truly am picking up that there's some level of tired here, whether it's physical, spiritual, mental, emotional. Spiritual tiredness is a thing, right? Sometimes when you're receiving too much information, you can get spiritually tired as well. And I've experienced being both spiritually and emotionally tired at once, or very, very deplenished in those categories, like those areas at once. And you guys, that is so much harder than just being physically tired, or physically and emotionally tired. When it's the spiritual and emotional, when it's both non-physical things, it is very like it. I had to go on a trip alone in the woods to replenish for like 3 days with literally nobody around me so that I wasn't picking up on energy and whatever. Like, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, you may not realize because maybe it's just one type of exhaustion. Or you may think like, I'm fine everywhere else. So maybe you're so used to kind of pushing it that you don't realize, you know? It's kind of like if you're tired but you decide to stay up late at night anyway, and like to keep watching your shows or to finish journaling or writing or talking with friends or whatever it may be, right? You like keep pushing it. It doesn't mean that you are now less tired. You just kind of, your body fell into the habit of when it's tired to be able to keep pushing. But it doesn't mean that like, oh, 4 hours of sleep is actually adequate for you now. You know what I mean? Like, some people genuinely just truly need more sleep because of whatever it is that they do or how their bodies work or whatever else it may be, right? So yes, okay, let's see what else we're getting here. With strength, the Four of Cups, and death. So the Four of Cups, again, just feels a little bit like slightly unsatisfied. But like I said, when you're tired, for example, it's hard to stay in a grateful state, right? Like, even if you are grateful, you're not going to be as grateful. Like, you're not going to feel the sensation of gratitude as strongly as if you were fully rested, right? Because it's like you feel grateful, but it gets to a point where the tiredness takes over. But if you were well rested and you were feeling grateful, you completely feel it in your heart, your full body, your mind, everything. You know what I mean? So it kind of feels like the dissatisfaction. Again, it's to do with tiredness and the fact that the strength card in this deck is a whale. It is in the ocean, right? And there is this aspect of rainbow here. So it does feel like the strength coming through here. You guys have good mental and emotional strength, okay? And you just need a little bit of patience with yourself, realizing that you are still shedding layers of the past, okay? Yeah, and that kind of feels like a very big deal here. And so there is a little bit of an emphasis on solitude, I will say, just like I was mentioning where I had to go to the cabin, right? This is over a year ago now, but I am seeing a lot of solitude here. Like, this person is hiding in the bushes. You actually have the cards solitude and re-energize here as well, okay? The Four of Swords usually is a person on their own, like in a coffin, resting, right? In a church, usually. The Four of Pentacles, also a card that tends to be just a singular person kind of holding on to their pentacles. And like we were talking about how this is like that giving to yourself and like preserving. The Ace of Wands, again, solo. The Five of Pentacles is usually depicted with two people walking by. But in this case, again, it's solo, it's solitude. There's just one wolf. So there is this emphasis on kind of like taking a break, being to yourself. It's not to say that you shouldn't communicate with friends and family and all this stuff. It just feels like more along the lines of, because remember we mentioned how you guys are very powerful empaths. Well, it seems like you, and if it really is the energy of the world that is affecting you guys right now, like being around people that you actually care about, or that elicit, is that the word, elicit, or that basically get an emotional, that make you guys have an emotional response to them, whether it's positive or negative, is going to be a little bit too much at the moment. Not that you can't handle it, but again, it's kind of like the 3 weeks of healing that you could have gotten done in 3 weeks, you're spanning it out much longer because of the additional obstacles that you're trying to push through, right? That's why I think the truth card is coming here as well, with the realization that, like, yes, you actually do need, like, all of the things that you're trying to accomplish by pushing through, maybe it's time to realize that, like, you're not getting the exact results that you're looking for by pushing through. So maybe the break is necessary. Maybe the pause is necessary. Maybe you are supposed to kind of stop for some time and then pick it back up. It's not saying you're stopping forever. It's just saying until you start to feel a little bit more comfortable, or like accumulated, is that like you start to kind of feel comfortable with the environment, with the energies, where they're not, like, you adjust, right? Say for example, you get into a pool and the pool is cold or too cold for you in the moment, but it's hard for you to move around, you're kind of shaking, but then you come out of the pool and then you could step back into the pool, and you know what, now it feels a little warmer. Now you can actually start swimming and functioning and doing all the stuff you wanted to do in the pool, right? So you adjust. It's the same thing with the energy that's going on around the world or in your life, or whichever energy is affecting you in this regard, right? Maybe it's emotional energy, whatever it may be. It's kind of like you stepping in there, feeling uncomfortable, feeling tired, or however it affects you, and then you kind of taking a pause. And then eventually you're like, oh, you know what? I've acclimated, that's the word. I've acclimated to this. So now I can do the things I was doing before. Because you know what? Like I've acclimated to it now, right? So yes. Let me see what else there is. Okay. Page of Cups, Six of Wands, and Summer. Okay, with the Six of Wands, it's funny because everything else here, like here especially, you're looking at a little bit slightly more of a, not the most vibrant, happiest cards, but then when you're looking here, this is beautiful potential, right? So you're transitioning from the more difficult, like I was saying, you're going to get acclimated and you're going to be able to do the things that you wanted to do. Like, it's not like you're being limited forever. It's not at the wrong time, because everything happens at the right time, right? The motion of the ocean. It's basically everything is happening as planned, as expected, as it's supposed to. Not how you planned it necessarily, maybe, but as it was divinely planned. And with the Page of Cups, it's like coming through that, like, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little boy and he's watering a plant here, right? So the Page of Cups, it's talking about this potential for growth and for being able to get into a brighter and happier place, especially because we're seeing the sun in the background here with the Six of Wands. And Six of Wands is a victory. It's a success. And then we have this beautiful Summer card as well, right? So it's like what you're doing now, this nurturing now, this almost feels like what I was saying with the 3 weeks of sleep that you guys are not fulfilling. If you just take a pause and do the time that you need to nurture yourself by taking those 3 weeks, you're going to start going into this beautiful, more abundant place that is happier, and you're going to start feeling the actual flow and motion of things and less stagnant and stuck, right? You're going to be able to feel more gratitude and all of this stuff because you're taking the time to nurture yourself. That's the most important thing. It's like taking the time for you, to do it for you. Again, right, the re-energize is key here, because the re-energize is literally saying you need the time to re-energize yourself, and solitude is one of the ways of doing so. And because you're going to go into this like little hibernation or solitude or whatever it may be, you've got death here and you have rebirth, okay? rebirth. 37 adds up to 10, which is actually 1 in numerology, right? That new beginning, rebirth. I am reborn. That's how you're going to come out of that little hibernation, out of that rest, right? And this rest includes the healing that you need, that tenderness. And remember, in the beginning, we were talking about directing, nurturing to yourself. With this mother of the ocean, inner child healing, I go within to feel whole, right? It's like giving, and the compassion, St. Bridget's well, compassion, I give freely. That compassion is talking about the self-compassion, right? It's like you saying, you know what, anybody else, I would give them the advice to rest. I deserve that same advice. And it's like some of you guys may already know that, but I think you really needed the reminder. And just like we have a lot of talk about new, like a death and rebirth, we have the new moon, right? This is the first phase of the moon, of the new, the next moon coming in. It's the new moon, right? And Aquarius is all about change. So we have, it's just funny because we were literally just talking about that, right? The motion of the ocean and how the waters are constantly changing. The tide is constantly changing. And that's what's coming through here as well. Oop, shaky camera, please calm down. But yes, so that seems to be coming through for you guys as well. Or basically, it's not that it's coming through, it's like it's being re-emphasized, right? There's a lot of emphasis for you guys specifically about going into this hibernation or this death-like state. And like I said, so for some of you guys, it could be emotional exhaustion, all of this stuff. And so in this time that you're replenishing or resting, you are healing. Okay? The act of giving yourself the time and space to do the resting is an act of healing, because you're giving yourself the compassion and you're showing that inner child, you deserve this as well. You deserve that time. You deserve this space. You deserve to rest, right? Anybody else who's tired, you would say, go rest. You guys deserve that same advice, right? So that is a form of healing all in itself. The fact that you're even giving yourself the time to do what you need to do. And then also, I feel like through your dreams, you're going to start seeing how you're going to start seeing your subconscious desires and where the hurt kind of shows up in your life. I feel like some of you guys are going to actually get the chance to start seeing that in dreams as you start giving yourself the rest that you require. Is that a proper sentence? The rest that you require? I don't know. It feels weird. The rest that is required of you, I guess we can say. And you know what? I feel like because of this tiredness and, like I said, whatever's going on in the world and in the personal lives of the people that you know and all this stuff, or maybe just your personal life in general, it almost feels like remember how I said when the senses are overwhelmed, it's hard for them to start picking up stuff or to sense things. So it kind of feels like that. It's almost like you guys, there could have been like maybe you were in a place where you were like, oh yes, I can do the death and rebirth thing. Yep, next. Well, I'm ready for the next thing. What's next? And then you had this little pause or break, and now you need this. Now you actually need the break, okay, and the pause. And so like getting back into doing it again, that whole like death and rebirth thing may feel like there could be a little bit of fear around there. Or just like in general, like it feels like fear is sort of lingering around you guys. It's not necessarily in you, but it feels like an energy. Like, remember how I said it's like stuff is like passing through you? So it almost feels like, say, if you guys are this card, right? If you guys are this card, the fear is not like right next to you, but it's kind of like circling around. And it's not necessarily just targeting you or whatever. It's just the energy of fear is kind of circling around, and you guys are on some level, like your antenna are out everywhere because you're, like I said, you're empaths and you're sensory. So it's not that, again, it's not that the fear specifically is targeting you or that you specifically are looking to pick up the fear, but because all of your antennas are out and you're constantly receiving and this fear is circling in the vicinity, it's kind of like you're not 100% affected by it, but it also is kind of taking an energetic toll. Again, that's why the rest is important, to strengthen yourself, you know, to be like, oh, I don't need these receptors open. I don't, you know, stuff like that. Yes, let me see what else I'm getting here. Again, with the nurture, like there's just so much emphasis that you guys are so caring and nurturing and compassionate. You have a very kind heart and spirit. And I actually feel like you guys probably get along well with like the energy of the ocean. And just like I was mentioning to you earlier, the ocean is healing and all of that stuff, right? So the ocean moves through energy, right? That's what I meant to say. The ocean is moving constantly through energy. Like energy is rippling through the ocean, basically creating waves and all of this stuff. So I feel like you guys could have a draw to the ocean, especially because you're so highly sensitive and psychically sensitive and all of that, because it's like the energy of the ocean is healing for you. It kind of helps you to replenish. Though I feel like for some of you, there's this weird, like, I love the ocean, I like the ocean, but I'm afraid of the ocean kind of thing going on as well. So that's interesting too. Yeah. I think because the ocean is like this large energy body, right? If enough people around the planet feel a certain thing, or if they spread an energy around the planet, it affects the waters, right? Just like you can imbue water that you're drinking with affirmations and all of this stuff, the ocean is a large body of water. So it can also be imbued with the energy of what's going on in the planet and in the world. So I think like there's some of that involved too. But maybe that's actually something that you guys can try as well. Is like imbuing affirmations or intentions into the water that you're drinking, and affirming like, I am compassionate to myself, I honor my truth, I live my truth, I'm kind to I'm kind to myself, these kinds of things. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of what I'm getting for you as far as like the message from the aquatic and oceanic worlds and realms for you. But yeah, that's what I've got for you, group 1, and I hope you guys enjoyed your reading. Hopefully this gives you the motivation to take the rest that you need, whatever it may be. You know, maybe if you guys are up for it, you can share in the comments if what kind of tired it is for you. Like, is it the mental exhaustion, is it emotional, physical, psychic, spiritual, you know, is it more than one? Also, if you guys did like the video, I would appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up. Okay, let me know if you check out that song, by the way. Yeah, let me know if you check out that song. I think, well, what did I say it was? Let me find it for you guys one more time. It was Time for Greatness by Fia. But yes, let me know if you guys checked it out, if you enjoyed it. I like it. It's a nice, positive message song, right? And now is the time for you guys to kind of pull in and listen to or engage in more kinder, softer, lighter vibrational things, right? But yes, also if you guys are interested in other videos that I have posted before, you can check them out on my channel. If you do enjoy my videos, I would appreciate if you subscribe to the channel so that you can keep in, so that you can see whenever I post new content. It would also help support the channel. Obviously, you do not have to do this though, but it would be appreciated if you did. But yes, group one, that's it for me for today. And I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light, and I hope you have a beautiful, blessed rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next reading, okay? Bye, group one. Hey, group two. This is your group if you chose this seashell right here, this beauty. Look how cute. It even has this like grayish, purplish rim over here. Very lovely. Yes. I'll set it to the side, right? Actually, before we get into your cards, let me see if I can pick up anything from the shell. But before we do that, actually, let's ring the singing bowls for you. Me, 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 me. No, I'm kidding. Okay, let's see. Okay. You know, it's interesting, right? Because what I'm seeing, I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up on the camera, but right here, this very small thin line kind of looks like half a heart. Okay, and then over here almost feels like somebody rubs their thumb here often, and it kind of left like a thumbprint, right? Like almost like a worry stone. I feel like you guys are really connected with nature. Yeah, like you guys see the beauty in nature and you have a beautiful positive energy. So this is going to be like messages from the ocean and the aquatic realm for you guys. But what's coming through here is like the joy. The joy is coming through from the ocean. So it feels like you guys have a very powerful, radiant positivity about you. And your energy is very, very positive too. I think people like to be around you often. So like some people could say you're like a little happy pill, or like, you know, if they're feeling down, you would be the person who kind of brings them up. I feel like you guys are good at making people laugh, you know, like if this situation, or like if you're, for example, just an example, like if you're visiting a relative, you know, who maybe is a little bit more pessimistic, or like they have a harder time liking life or loving life, you know, like you'll crack jokes, you'll be silly and make them smile, you know, it's like you're very charming. The fact that there's a half heart here, I feel like you guys are also the romantics of the group, okay? I think since like from childhood to maybe even currently, you know, even if it's like a hidden thing or not from you, but it just feels like there is this wish for a love of a lifetime that's coming through, and it almost seems like you guys are just waiting for somebody else. It's not that you need somebody to make you whole, but I feel like the fact that it's half a heart, it's like you're looking for a romantic companion. Keyword companion, right? It's like a companion for life, someone who gets you, you know, like I think people appreciate your quirkiness and your silliness, but for example, if we use that relative as an example again, right? Like they'll be like, oh, like your laughter, say for example, okay, you know, I'll use a personal experience as an example, okay? Sometimes I can have a very silly laugh, okay? I like it. I like my laugh. I love all the different aspects of my laugh. I think it's cute, you know? I think it's endearing. But somebody who grows up in a culture where they're more judgmental on themselves and all of this stuff may find it annoying or ridiculous, you know? So like, for example, I have a grandmother who thinks that I laugh. She's like, what is this stupid laugh? You know what I mean? And I used to live with his grandmother. And look, she could say whatever she wants about that laugh, but she's somebody who maybe rarely has reasons to laugh or smile. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean that she never laughs or smiles, but it's like, for her to truly have a joyful moment, you know, it's not always happening. So she can say whatever she wants about my laugh, but after I was gone and I went to visit her again, and I started laughing and like having fun with my cousin and her and whatever, she's like, oh, there's that stupid laugh again. But she was laughing and smiling, and I could just see the joy radiating out of her. You know what I mean? It's like, yes, she judges it, but at the same time, it's like exactly what she needed. Like, she needs that lightheartedness, right? So that being said, even though it was a very long-winded example, even though you guys are appreciated for all this stuff, it isn't, finding somebody who just gets it right away, that's a whole nother thing. That's what I meant by companion, right? It's like somebody who would, the way that you feel about those quirky things about yourself, it's like that person feels that way too. You know, they don't think it's like, they don't judge it, like how I gave that example with my grandma with my laugh, right? They don't judge it even though they enjoy it. They genuinely, like, it is something that they love about you, and they're open about that. And so like, there's this companionship or wanting for something along those lines. Okay, let me see what else I'm getting here. I feel like you guys have a very good and strong leader energy as well. I think a lot of people kind of flock to you, and this has to do again with your energy, period. Your positivity and that like radiance, I think, makes you shine very brightly, so people naturally want to kind of flock to you and come to you. It's almost like you guys have a little bit of a spotlight around you. Yeah, funnily enough, I just looked to the side, and on the bottom of the deck I see the sun. So like, I'm not surprised, because that actually works perfectly, because we also have at the bottom of the deck again the Six of Swords, which is like success, but in some decks you could see like they make it seem like this person has the spotlight, right? So this actually correlates very well with what I'm saying here. And you know what else we've got here? We have two Eight of Wands on the bottom of the deck, and funnily enough, both of them have purple, which is very interesting, right? Because most Eight of Wands decks that I've seen don't have purple, but it just so happens that in both of these decks there is purple, and Eight of Wands is communication, and since it's purple, it feels like this is guided communication, higher level communication. So you know, I was humming a little bit in the beginning and making sing-songy jokes, and I don't know if it was, I don't know if it, I don't even remember what I was saying in the beginning, but I do remember there was a little bit of singing. So I think your voice is also prominent, right? Like, because we have two Eight of Wands, which again, Eight of Wands is like that communication. It is a communication card. But the fact that it's purple means that it's guided. So I think there is, even the shell, right, has a little bit of this purplish gray. So it feels like you guys have guided communication. Almost like you're channeling, you know. I think your words are powerful. They have an impact on people's lives. And again, it adds to like, almost like you guys have a star quality, this like spotlight. People are like, yes, of course we're gonna like group 2 because this and this, you know. And oh, speaking of light, look at the bottom of this deck. Light. My light radiates through my life and the world around me. Perfect. This is like completely correlated. Now I want to look at the bottoms of all the decks. Let me see. The Empress. Yep, makes sense, right? Radiant, just exactly as they are. There is a nurturing presence, right? You help. Yeah, there's like this beautiful, joyous abundance and fertile grounds and all of this stuff. So, and then underneath that we have the Ten of Cups. We also have the Truth, which is kind of like honoring your inner truth, being yourself. Friendship underneath that. And then Our Lady of Lords with Sorrow. Thank you for my healing. Holy Walls of Ireland, Alchemy. Yeah, you guys, let's get into your cards because I'm curious to see what comes through. Since we saw a little bit of love there, and I'll be honest with you, while I was shuffling, I think I saw like the 10 of Cups and maybe I saw a Lover's card while I was shuffling. Not, I don't know what fell out, but I don't know. There was some kind of, there was a something, but it's like out of the brain now. But yeah, let's see what we've got. So we have the King of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, the Three of Pentacles, the Devil. Interesting. Okay, the reason this is interesting is because while I was shuffling, the Devil card made itself known in a couple of different decks. And I saw one of the cards when it flipped over, the Devil card came out, and I was like, I'm not surprised because it's made itself known in a couple of different decks. I didn't realize it came out in this deck too, so I know that you guys have it at least twice now. Don't worry about it, what it could mean. Leave that part to me, okay? So for those of you guys who are like, oh my gosh, the Devil card went, like, don't worry about it, okay? It doesn't always mean something scary. Most of the time, it's not scary. Then we have the Explorer of Wands, which is the, I believe this is the King of Wands. Oh my, what? I'm having a brain fart. I haven't used these cards in a while. Oh, okay. Sorry, I just saw a card ahead of time. Yeah, Explorer of Wands is the King of, no, I'm sorry. This is the Knight of Wands. That makes sense. Knight of Wands. Okay, then we have the High Priestess. You guys, you remember how I said I saw the Lover's card in one of the decks? I don't think this was the deck, but I forgot how much I love the Lover's card in this deck, but you guys have the Lovers. I love this deck in general. I was just saying in the last group how I used to use it more frequently, and then, you know, I got more cards. But this perfectly, like, fits kind of that romancy, like the romantic thing I was mentioning in childhood, vision, and like that fantasy that we were talking about earlier. This is kind of like the perfect Lover's card to depict this. And I love this Lover's card so much because it makes me think of, and I was saying how I missed this deck, like I forgot how beautifully vibrant it is. Like, look at how juicy the colors are. But this Lover's card in particular makes me specifically think of, there's this K-drama that I saw called 100 Days My Prince, and it's like a historical drama, which means that it's not necessarily historically accurate, but it takes place in like the, may pronounce it wrong, but like the Joseon period or whatever. And like this kind of gives off that vibe for me for some reason. Like the way that they use the lines makes me think of like, I don't know why, but it makes me think of the hats that they had there. And I think like these beautiful cherry blossoms also make me think of that like dreamscapey, I don't know, it makes me think of that drama or like the idea of that drama. But yeah, this makes me think of historical Korean dramas. It's also just very sweet and romantic. Okay, then we have the Page of Cups. Interesting, because this actually came out in the last group too. And we also have the Ace of Cups. How cute. Lots of watery things for a water-themed reading. I mean, look at that. We've got, I mean, actually here it was all starting pentacles. Even the Wheel of Fortune, right? It's kind of like a coin. But then with the High Priest, yeah. Okay, getting lost in the sauce here. Let me keep going. We have the Seed of Cups, which is the Page of Cups. Oh, the Page of Cups twice. Look at you guys. 2 times in a row. Okay. The Seven of Cups And this is the deck where I was mentioning, like, I actually saw the devil card come up. So here it is, the devil card. Okay. Ooh. Careful. What's interesting is that in this deck, the devil card has purples as well. So remember we were saying the 8 of Wands, there was a highlight on purple. And you know what? There is a highlight on purple a little bit on the shell itself. Let's flip it over, I guess, so you guys can see that. But it's just interesting as well that we're getting purple here too. But yeah, okay. We also have decisions. Let me move everything up really quick. For those of you guys who are interested, by the way, all of the decks used in the reading are going to be listed in the description box below. We have the future. that was a SpongeBob reference for anyone who was curious. Mystery. Interesting. You have decisions, the future, mystery, and hope. This is so correlated with each other. It's almost like an actual order of things. Like you've got to make a decision for the future, which is going to be a mystery how it comes out, but you should have hope and faith. You know, it's funny. Okay, then we have number 30 with Ran and Ager. Co-creation. I unite with the power of love. Oh. And while I was shuffling this deck in particular, or no, maybe it was sorry, it wasn't this deck. It was the mermaid deck. When I was shuffling the mermaid deck, it didn't come out, but the first card, like when I first started shuffling and I split the deck, the first card I saw was the love card in this deck. So interesting. Okay. Then we have 42 with the Waite Terra. Resilience. My spirit endures. And we have, this is a beautiful card too, 26, God of the Nile. My joyful enrichment. My joyful dedication and perseverance are paying off. Look how beautiful this card is. I love the colors. And his eyes, look, his eyes are so cool. I don't know if you can see them, but there they are, the eyes. Okay. And then your card over here is Delight. I delight in everything in my world and divine joy fills me. This is the affirmation from the ocean and aquatic realms they wanted you to be aware of. I asked when shuffling. Okay, then we have Eros. And Chiron, which I think is interesting. And I'll tell you why once we get to this section. Even the colors are kind of opposites, right? Red and blue, or pink and light blue. Okay, and then for the last two cards, we have the 4 elements. This is not actually a card in the deck. It's more of a little reference, but I like to keep it as part of the reading, or I like to keep it in the deck as part of the deck, because I believe that this kind of gives off Avatar vibes or Master of All Elements, or like an alchemist / magician vibe. So yeah, so we've got that, the 4 elements. And then we have number 29 with Scorpio, the shaman. I am not surprised with this either. So it's so funny too, in the last group, these 2 cards were both water signs, but not Scorpio. They had Cancer and Pisces. And then you guys got the other water sign. So keeping on theme with the ocean and aquatic realms. But yeah, give me a moment, you guys, to see what I'm picking up here. Okay, group 2. So for you guys, one second, sorry, keep having an itch on my back. But yeah, for you guys, what I'm seeing is you guys, it appears that there was like an opportunity for like a new beginning for you when it comes to the material world. So whether some of you guys either started a new job, or like are starting school or something along those lines. Like, it feels very material world. Even if it's the same job, maybe things are like, if you're an entrepreneur, maybe things are starting to feel a little stable or good, or maybe there is an expansion into some other thing. Like I said, it's like there's some kind of newness, but at the same time it was like, it's not so new, like it was expected, you know. Even if it was a new job, it's almost like when you were at the end, like when you heard about the position, you were kind of like feeling the vibe as if you were gonna get it already off the bat, and then you go for the interview and you're not so excited when you find out you get it, because on some level it felt like it was always yours, you know. So it's kind of like that vibe. So with school, it's like, you know, you're gonna be starting school, so it's like it is kind of new, but it's not at the same time. Like, it feels like it was something in the back burner, or like burning in the background for the until it got to the perfect temperature. So now it's at a good temperature and it's starting to take action. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on, and it feels like in the more material world. So like I said, that would be things related to work, school, finances, sense of stability, right? Physical stability, and like stuff that you have to prove for it. So it feels like with this new opportunity, it's like you guys are sort of riding the wave, but with the Wheel of Fortune, it almost feels like there is this aspect of chance, right? And we have here with Decisions of the Future, Mystery and Hope, this kind of correlates with this as well, where it's like, you're given an opportunity, you have to make a decision whether you want to pursue it or choose if you're gonna keep moving forward in that direction. And with the Wheel of Fortune, it's also something that's uncertain, right? It's not something that's promised to you or guaranteed. It's kind of like this opportunity or this air of chance. And anything can happen, right? Anything goes. So it feels like, yeah, that's kind of coming through here. So there is this opportunity that's kind of like, it seems stable enough, but at the same time, like, even if it was business, right? And you feel like, oh, you're self-employed and you feel like, oh yeah, business is going good. There's still always the chance that maybe this was just for a short period of time and then it goes back. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not trying to, knock on wood for you guys. That's not what I would hope for you. I'm just saying, like, there's this air of like, yes, there, you assumed that you just felt like this was going to be the way that it was, that you were going to get this opportunity or something along those lines, but maintaining it, or like where it's fully leading, or how it's going to unfold, or if you're going to have to move forward to the next thing sooner or later, that part is still uncertain. Yeah, so it kind of feels like that part is up in the air. With the Three of Pentacles, it seems like with this opportunity, you're getting a chance to work with more people. So again, whether it's like that self-employment route, or whether it was a new job, or even a job that you currently have that maybe you just have like a new opportunity in, or there's like a rekindled something in business where you're going to start working with more people or colleagues, or making new connections. Like, there's some kind of emphasis of like, you're not doing it on your own. Maybe in the past you were the only one doing it, but now maybe you really get good friends that can help support you, or like the teachers are helping you if this is a school thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's something along the lines of you're not the only person trying to get to a good destination, and so two people that are trying to get to a good destination can kind of help each other. Or like, you're doing it together. Like, there's companionship. Just like we mentioned, even with love, it's like you're looking for a romantic companion. There's this aspect of you're kind of coming to a time where you're going to be getting companions if you haven't already started getting them in your life. Let me see what else I'm getting here. The ocean energy that's coming through for you guys too is possibility. Like, what I'm being shown the most is how vast the ocean is, right? How big the ocean is. And because it's so big, there's endless possibility. Because it's so big, even if you make a mistake, you can just move a couple of feet forward and you're going to be in a different area to be able to try again, right? So there's like, it's like potential feels very limitless for you guys, and that's kind of what's coming through here too. Even here, right, with decisions, the future, mystery, hope, it kind of correlates to that as well. Let me see what else I'm getting. With all of the purples that we had coming through, and then the devil being purple here, and I mentioned in your reading, I believe I mentioned getting lost in the sauce, which, by the way, for those of you who are unaware, that is a new expression for me in the last couple, like the last month or two. That expression came through during a reading, and it has just stuck around. And I know that it has like a definition on Urban Dictionary and stuff, I think. But the way that I interpret it is kind of like getting lost in the small stuff or in the details and kind of losing the bigger picture, right? So, yeah. That being said, now that you know the definition of my interpretation of Lost in the Sauce, I kind of feel like with all of the purple, again, there's a lot of emphasis on the crown chakra. And since the devil card has the purple there as well, I'm thinking that maybe, because we are mentioning that sense of security, but then also there's this emphasis of uncertainty. Since they're emphasizing uncertainty, it means that it could possibly be a concern for you guys, right? Because it's come through in multiple ways. So it could be something that you try not to think about, but it does cross your mind, like, oh, I don't know what the future holds, or I'm not sure how things are going to unfold, or like I've been given this new opportunity, but there's nothing guaranteed. Like if it is school, there's no guarantee that I'm going to start working or making money, or that I'm going to actually enjoy it. If it's a new work opportunity, there's no guarantee that it's going to last or how long it's going to last. If it's a temporary promotion, I don't know if it's going to turn into a full promotion afterwards, or if I'm going to be demoted back to the position I had before. Is if it's a new business thing and everything is going good with my business, I don't know how long this is going to last, you know, things along those lines. So it feels like the devil card would be that. It would be the anxieties or like overthinking, specifically overthinking. Pardon me. Yeah, it feels like the devil cards coming through here would be more like, again, it's like that getting lost in the sauce, getting lost in your own thoughts, I think, which would be taking you away from the present, but also leading you astray a little bit. Right? Like you can get lost in the forest here, or like this person is like leading you astray with the chain. It's just kind of like, okay, let's just keep following an old pattern, right, of the thoughts. So it's along those lines. I think it's coming through more so, like I said, right, you didn't have to be afraid of the devil card. It's not going to be something scary most of the time. This just seems like it's more of anxiety slash thoughts, or like getting lost in the thought or getting lost in the process. Maybe you guys are people who like to plan things, you know, so you'll be like, oh, okay, then this happens and I'm gonna do this. Like maybe some of you even do hypothetical planning, you know, where you'll be like, oh, okay, if I had this in my life, then I would do this, this, and this with it. Oh, but then if I do this, this, and this is going to happen. And from this, oh, what is the solution for this? Okay, that will be the solution for if that scenario. But if that was not the scenario and I had to absolutely choose another scenario, this is going to be the other scenario. And in order to address this scenario, I'm going to need this, this, and this, and this. And in order to get this, I need this. And it's like a whole thing, right? Like you're pre-planning everything. And that is also getting lost in the sauce. So I think that's why there's this emphasis on the fact that yes, the future and certain things are going to be unknown. They're going to be uncertain. That's part of life. Right? It's like going with the flow. Again, the ocean coming through and letting you know if you make a mistake, that is a-okay. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes. There's nothing wrong with fluffing something up, because you can always try again. It's like same thing with the job opportunity, right? If, for example, you got a new job, wonderful, congratulations. If it doesn't go well with that job, instead of worrying and falling into this whole like mindset of over planning and pre-planning and trying to figure out every scenario and possibly leading to anxiousness, right? And being antsy, getting lost in the mind a little bit, in the mental realm. Instead of doing that, whoa, with that yawn, or sigh, or whatever that was, kind of lost my train of thought. Oh my gosh, what was I just saying? One moment. What was I just saying? Instead of getting lost. Oh yeah, with the job example. Instead of getting lost in those thoughts of like, oh, ifs, what's, what, blah, blah, blah. Realizing that like, oh, if something did happen, or if I don't get the results that they're looking for this position, I can find another job. You know, it's commendable that you're trying to make the current situation work as best as possible. But the most important thing to remember is that if it doesn't work out, that's okay too. You can try the next thing, right? I think as humans, it's kind of natural for most people to go into this place of, well, now that I'm in this, I need to see it through, right? Now that there's food on my plate, I need to finish it. But if you're full, or if this is something that doesn't agree with your stomach, you don't have to finish it, right? There's no written law that says this is the way that things have to be done. I just think we're used to doing things in a certain way. So it feels like that's the thing that's kind of coming through. So like the ocean is also trying to, and like the watery realms, the aquatic realms are trying to show that to you. They're trying to be like, hey, think of it like the actual ocean itself. It's so vast. Your potential is so vast. What you can do, your opportunities. If you mess it up in one area, you can move literally 10 feet into the next part of the ocean. You're in new waters. You can start again. You can try again. And if that doesn't work, you can move another 10 feet. The ocean is vast, right? Go with the flow. Just keep going down the path. And before you know it, you may not even realize that every 10 feet that you moved to try something new because the last thing didn't work out or whatever it may be, actually was 10 feet further on the journey that you're meant to be on, right? So you're still aligned with where you're supposed to be and what you're meant to be doing. It's just not in the way that you had pictured it. You thought that maybe, oh, in order to be doing what I'm meant to do in this lifetime, I need to be doing it from A to Z. But you could be doing it from A to C in one area, then walk somewhere else, and then do from C to E in another area, and then walk somewhere else, and from E to N, and then walk somewhere else, and then from N to P, you know, like, and it can vary how long you do in different areas, but the whole point is you don't have to be from A to Z in just one place. You can go to different places. The point is you're still moving forward. And if you're still moving forward, that means you're fulfilling your purpose. You are your purpose. You are your purpose. You are living your purpose, right? So, yes, that was my TED Talk. Let me see what else is coming through. Yeah, exactly. Explorer of Wands. Wands is passionate. The Knight of Wands. It's like dabbling in a couple of different places, getting excited about one area, seeing it, how it goes, and then going and venturing off into the next thing. The most important thing is that you follow your intuition and your higher guidance, okay? Your inner knowing. You can hear. It's like, again, it's like this call from the sea. You can hear it. There is, you guys are very intuitive. Yeah, you're very intuitive. So you can tell. We already saw the crown chakra energy coming through. The guidance is there. All you need to do is kind of like calm yourself if you're feeling a little too caught up in the thoughts. Do a little bit of grounding by just bringing yourself back to the present, feeling connected with your body. Maybe go for a walk and then see the message that comes through. Maybe actually go to the sea and let the ocean kind of help energetically give you the message, you know, or like help to clear that clutter, that mental clutter, and bring you back into the present. Just listening to the sounds, smelling the smell of the sea, feeling the coolness of the water, feeling what it feels like to have the water actually cleanse things out of your body, right? To ground yourself. With the Seven of Cups too, and the Seed of Cups. This is also talking about what we were mentioning before, with all of the multiple opportunities, not knowing which road to go. Because again, decisions, right? It's like multiple things coming up at once, not sure what to focus on. You know, it's like, what would be the best choice? Overthinking that. And it gets to a point where it's like, just make a decision. See, like, do that grounding, see what feels good, see what brings you the most joy in the moment, and go with that. You know, you don't have to take, for somebody who's so positive and all of this stuff and radiant, you guys don't have to take things so seriously. It's not that deep, right? It may feel or seem like it is, but and it's commendable that you weigh every decision with such intensity and such prominence. But it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be that intense, right? Just make a choice that feels good for you in the moment, that feels like it feels good in your heart, in your chest, right? You're just like, yes, this is something that sits well with me. I like this, and go with that, you know? And then once the uncertainties start kicking in, or you're not sure about how it can work out, how to make it work out, if it needs effort from you and all of this other stuff, just kind of take it one step at a time. Let it unfold. That's life, right? That's how life works. It is constantly unfolding like petals in a flower that is blooming. The process of a flower blooming is your life, and every petal that unfolds is all of those opportunities and how they're turning out. Okay, you don't need to see the fully completed, fully in bloom flower. That's something that you get to enjoy at the end, right? After you've taken all of those journeys and tried all of those things, you can look at the bigger picture and see, wow, what a beautiful flower, what a beautiful life. Let me see what else we've got here. Yeah, even with the Seed of Cups and the Seven of Cups and the Devil, this kind of feels like it's giving off the same vibe as these four cards a little bit, or these cards, I should say, where it's kind of like a new opportunity, but then having options and multiple roads, and you're like, which road do I choose? And getting kind of caught up in that, like, oh, what do I, but if I do this, and like the planning that we mentioned. So I think that's kind of funny. It's kind of cute. You guys are very cute. You're adorable. Let me see what else I'm getting for you. Even with the Lovers, right? It's kind of like decisions that's coming through as well. Let's see. I feel like you guys are in need. pardon of healing when it comes to love. Like you guys are still in the process of healing love related stuff in your life. Let me see what else I'm getting here. It's like you guys love love and you like love and all of this stuff, but it still requires healing in your life. And it's not something that you have to be single for the rest of the healing journey, the whole time, all of this stuff. It's just kind of you can be in a relationship with someone, you can be just starting to talk or date someone, like starting to talk with or be dating someone. That's okay too. But it feels like when it comes to relationships, they're like, yeah, there's an emphasis there. That, and I would say also intimacy. When I first saw those two cards together, the Eros and the Chiron, the first thing that came to mind was that song, Sexual Healing. So I feel like for you guys, that could be another prominent thing as well, is getting more in touch with that sensual energy, which would be lower chakra stuff, right? So that would be the sacral chakra, especially, but you can, and you know, funnily enough, actually, the sacral chakra is ruled by the element of water. So, it works. And the sacral chakra is orange, so we've got the presence of orange a couple of times here. So interesting. And Eros is orange here too. Kind of pinkish orangey, reddish color. Okay, let's see what else we've got. But yeah, so that's what I was kind of getting. There's like this, like a healing of intimacy, a little bit, a healing of passion and desire, that especially sensual and sexual ones. And yeah, like I feel like your positivity comes from your heart space. Your positivity and joy comes from your heart space, but then we can get a new level of joy and gratitude and all of this stuff if it started coming from your sacral chakra more. So I feel like the lower chakras are going to help you guys ground. Like I said, naturally you guys are higher chakra stuff because we had so many emphases and whatever on the crown chakra. So the root chakra, once the focus starts going there, and specifically I was getting, like I said, the sacral chakra, it can help out a lot. Let me see what else I'm getting here. I feel like you guys are also bringing your feminine and masculine energies into balance, continuing to do so with that. And let us see. Yeah, with my spirit endures, my joyful dedication and perseverance are paying off. It's kind of like telling you to take it easy and take it one step at a time and just keep completing those steps. And any curveball or any seemingly obstacle kind of thing that comes up on the journey or road ahead, just know that it is not as big of a deal as it seems most of the time. And it is just a way to enrich the experience and the journey. It is not something where things are against you or something is trying to make it difficult and all this other stuff. It's not that, okay? It's just Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what else. Da, 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 You know what's interesting? These two images are actually quite similar, and funnily enough, I mentioned it earlier, right? This could be kind of like a reddish, pinkish orange, and then blue, greenish color, right? Like there are light pink, light reds here, or like a pink, you can almost say, and then like light blues here. But then, sorry guys, it's kind of late at night. These two cards, you actually have a similar scenario. This is like pink and blue, and they're kind of in a similar pose, like nose to nose, about to kiss, but not kissing. Or like about to be lip to lip, but they're not, but their noses are to each other. So I think this is interesting. Let me see what else. But yeah, I think it's interesting that the colors correlate, you know. I think when it comes to love, there was like the fantasy of love for so long for some of you guys, even if you were in relationships and all of that stuff, or if you're currently in relationship. I think, like I said, because you guys have a lot of mental space energy, brain energy, mind energy, because of that, like again, it also leads into fantasy, right? Daydreaming, all this stuff, romanticizing, because it's all thought based. So it almost seems like you guys had a rose tinted glasses way of seeing love, and then there's a healed, deeper version that is truer and pure, or more authentic, that is coming through, or is working on coming through. It's coming through in your life to help you with the healing, so that you're not living in a fantasy, but a beautiful and deep truth or reality. Okay, so that seems to be coming through as well. Let me see what else. Let's see. It also kind of seems like maybe what you guys desired in love and the practical application of those things are quite different. Yeah. So, yes. Yeah, and with the shaman too, this is about, again, deep diving, right? Scorpio is about transformation. So it's funny, we had these opposites. I mentioned it before, right? The opposites. But there is this emphasis on being able to transform. So just like healing the idea, or like this feels airy and this feels deeper, seated and rooted, right? Not even rooted because it's still kind of floating because of the water. But yeah, this is like the air and the water. So with the shaman card, it feels like it's correlating with that too. The four elements, by the way, that card is talking about how you guys are meant to have a beautiful balance in your life, and you don't have to stress about it or worry about how to make it happen, because like I said when we were mentioning going from like A to C, from C to G, you know, like every step of your journey has a different duration or length, but all of them are a step forward. So all of them are a step towards growth, and that's what I'm saying, like you don't have to worry about it, because it just seems like on this journey you're going to acquire what you need to acquire when it's time to acquire it. But you guys get the privilege of having a very beautifully blessed life, I would say. It's gonna really start changing of the tides, kind of a thing, in favor of you. Let me see if I can get anything else in regards to the shaman card. Hopefully you guys can hear me too. I'm a little further away from the camera today. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Sorry guys, I just kind of went off in my own little world there for a moment. But yeah, with the shaman card, I'm not getting too much. I think the whole point is that it is a mystery, and the deeper things are going to unfold when it's time. But whenever I think of a shaman, I think of somebody who like is in a ferry boat ushering people to find the fragments of their soul in the darker times, and the ferry boat just so happens to have its own personal life light or lighthouse kind of a thing, right? But it's within the ferry boat. And like a shaman is that they carry that light, that boat, so that they can guide other people out, and they just needed someone who would be able to help them do so. So if you have a hard time, just know that things are going to get better, and the deep diving is going to be very healing for you guys too, which honestly feels kind of like a given. It's kind of like duh. But yeah, I also feel like you guys are really perceptive too. Yeah. Okay, and we're gonna leave it on that note. If you guys could give me a moment to see final thoughts. Yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. Yeah, group 2, that's the bulk of what I'm getting for you in regards to the messages from the ocean and the aquatic realm. Oh, actually, with the Ace of Cups, again, it's like that beautiful new emotional beginning, but I feel like that healing is coming through, where you're turning this airy fantasy into something a little bit more deeper and uncomfortable, because it's going to be underwater. But this is the best way to kind of figure out what you really truly want for yourself. So that goes with the relationships too. Okay, but yes, group 2, this was your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I would appreciate if you gave the video a thumbs up. Also, I love hearing from you guys in the comments down below, so let me know, did those bits and pieces make sense in regards to I don't even know what I'm talking about. In regards to what? I just keep losing my train of thought. Sorry, guys. But yeah, just let me know in the comments down below. I don't know, can you relate to the whole losing the train of thought? Did you guys get the point that I was making with the whole like from A to C, from C to G, all of this stuff, right? Hopefully you guys got the point, but let me know if you did or not. And yeah, do you guys still do the whole fantasy thing with the romance? I know some people in this group have taken a pause from that, but like subconsciously they still really want to be doing that. But is there anybody here who genuinely either wants to or doesn't want to be doing the focus on the love stuff and whatever else we were just talking about? Again, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, so let me know, you guys. Let me know in the comments down below. I apologize for being so a little bit lost towards the end there, but yeah. All right, if you guys did enjoy, like I said, I'd appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up. Also, I love hearing from you in the comments down below. And if you like to see any other content that I have, it's available on my channel. And if you wanted to support the channel, I would appreciate if you guys subscribe to it. It is not necessary, but like I said, it would just be appreciated if you guys did so. But also, if you're interested in either a personal private reading, custom crystal bracelets, or custom affirmation song, anything along those lines, you can reach out to me either through the contacts page on my website or through my email, which will all be in the description box below. But yes, group 2, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. I'm sending you so much love, so much light, and stay blessed, you guys. I'll see you at the next one. Bye, group 2. Hey, group 3, this is your group if you chose this seashell, this lovely seashell. You guys, I know it was just a click of a timestamp for you, but y'all, it has been like 3 weeks since I filmed the first 2 groups. A lot has happened. I'm gonna set your shell to the side, you guys. I hope that on camera, I don't, like, again, from where I sit, it's always kind of hard to see the lighting and exactly what you guys are seeing, but I hope you can see how beautifully purple this section is. This is such a treasure, you know, how I found this, I believe, in Montauk, but like, I remember when I picked it up and I saw, or maybe it wasn't Montauk, but some other part of Long Island, and I remember when I picked it up, I saw this beautiful purple and I was like, what a treasure, what an incredibly beautiful find, and how special. I have another shell, like the last group had some purple too, but this one has the most vibrant, like, visible purple. But yeah, you guys, it's been a minute for me. A lot has gone on, and yes, so yeah, so I'm just kind of getting back into the flow of things. I'm gonna ring the singing bowls for you guys. Lovely, a sound bath. And yes, the video is messages from the ocean and any aquatic realms and beings that are of the light for you guys. I do want to say there is an emphasis on facing the facts and the truth, right? Like a self-reflection, or just reflection in general. Also, by the way, you guys, since the last time I was filming, so since the intro of this video for you, I've gotten sick. So yeah, I was trying to preface that cough, but if I cough, that is why I am overcoming a cold. But yes, basically with you guys, there's a lot of emphasis on reflections, truth, and it feels like coming back to self-love. I don't remember what I said in the last 2 groups, but I do remember that the messages felt slightly similar, which I thought was kind of funny because it is, you know, messages from the aquatic realms and like from the ocean and stuff. So the ocean has multiple things that it could say, but there is this overall consensus of like how we perceive the ocean and what it gives to us. So I just think it's funny because it was kind of coming through in the majority of the groups, or those two groups. At least that's what I remember. So I don't remember if this is similar to those groups, but if it is, then that's kind of funny. Oh yes, I'm already looking at the first card, and you guys remember how I said it's kind of like this reflection? I don't know if I said the words like coming back to that self-love or something like that, but look, the first card is return. And with that, I suppose let's get into your card layout. But look how beautiful. I love this card, you guys. It is so beautiful. Don't you agree? If you guys think the same, let me know in the comments down below. Like, I don't know if can you see little people? I just love the scenery in this card so much, and the colors too. And like there's just this giant, and this card is original to this deck, so it's not like meant to be like a justice card or whatever, but you do have like this over being, right? This higher being kind of in the heavens. We also have the 8 of Cups. The Fool. The Explorer of Pentacles, or shall we say the Knight of Pentacles. The 3 of Wands. The 2 of Cups. You guys, you know, now I'm starting to like think back of the last 2 groups. I know I'm pretty sure they were almost like an hour each. So I'm not trying to keep you guys here for an hour. So there's a chance that your reading may be a little shorter, and I'm gonna try to make a couple of shorter videos too, so that I can start finishing them all in one go and be more consistent with producing stuff for you guys. So it's not so delayed. But I think in group 2, we've got the World card, by the way, number 22. Look how gorgeous those colors are in this card. I love this deck. All the decks are in the description box below. We have Meditate. But yeah, I just think, I think I'm starting to remember group 2 a little. Not what I said about group 2, but just, you know, group 2 as like how I felt while I was filming it. And y'all, I'm pretty sure I was falling asleep during group 2's reading. Not because it was boring, but because I was just feeling so tired during that reading. And I think I may have actually started like really dozing off before the video ended, so I have to go back and edit and see. I don't even know if I filmed an outro for that. And I hope that it didn't disrupt the flow of the reading, but it is what it is. Okay, then we've got number 9, the Hermit. And by the way, Meditate, even though this is a tarot deck, Meditate is a separate card. So that's kind of cool. So with 2 of the 3 decks so far, you guys actually have the unique cards that are individual to the decks coming out too. So that's pretty nifty. We have Death. Ooh, I don't remember how I had laid out these cards. I think they were up here. Oops, sorry, Shell. I beg your pardon. It was an accident. Oh, funnily enough, Death has a shell on it. Ooh. We have 6 of Wands. And we also have the 8 of Stones, or the 8 of Pentacles. Yes, the Pentacles. Okay. Pardon. Then we have Dreaming. I was gonna be like, and she's holding the same shell as in this card, but it's a mermaid deck, so that also kind of makes sense. So I don't know. Well, this one doesn't have a shell in it, I guess, so I guess that makes it extra special. The first cards have shells in them. We have Free Spirit. Hope. Yeah, this one doesn't have a shell in it either. So you know what? I guess it is significant that the shell is there. And you guys have that, you know, like what I was mentioning with like, oh yes, the special shell. with the extra purple. Number 26, God of the Nile, enrichment. My joyful dedication and perseverance are paying off. Hallelujah. Okay. 36, Our Lady of Lords, sorrow. Thank you for my healing. Yes. Yeah, like there is such a healing vibe, but that's what I was saying about the other groups too, I think. Like the ocean, there is an association of healing and calmness and reflection and soothing, right? Oh my goodness, look at that mischievous smile. Number 16, Lord Shiva, divine fusion, I unite with sacred synergy. And you know what? Doesn't, oh, I'm not sure, but doesn't Shiva have a seashell too? Like, doesn't he hold a shell as well? I mean, I know he holds that trident thing and the pearls. Well, I've got to Google this. I've got to, oopsie. Oh, and I actually, y'all, this is funny. I accidentally turned on the flashlight, but what else is funny is the next card is literally light. My light radiates through my life and the world around me. It's just funny because that's like, it just happened, you know? And I'm gonna set this over here, but let me really quickly check out if Shiva holds a seashell. One moment. A cosmic conch shell. Is associated with the god Varuna, the lord of the waters. Ah, yes. Oh, Vishnu. Wait, hold on, what? The stone stele depicts the Hindu god Vishnu attended by two consorts, Lakshmi and Saraswati. Hold on. Sorry guys, I have to look at the image because clearly they're not showing me. They're not holding a shell. There was somebody who holds a shell, but I guess it is not important. Maybe, that's why I said maybe it's Lakshmi. I don't know. That was hilarious. What did they call it? The conch of destiny? Oh, cosmic conch shell. That's funny. I mean, wonderful, but it's kind of funny too. Okay, then we've got Neptune, which is beautiful and interesting because you know what, you guys? Here is Lord Shiva with the waters here, and we're here talking about this god of the waters, and then Neptune, the ruler of aquatic things, on some, apart from like the moon, you know what I mean? But like Neptune is so watery and elusive and also airy. So it's interesting because this return hints at intergalactic or cosmic origins, but then having this Neptune also kind of adds that. So let me just put this over. Sorry, you guys. I'm probably going to cough a few more times. And you know what? I'm going to stop apologizing for it because there's not much I can do about it. And it's human to have a cold and to cough. Okay, Gemini. Here we go. Waxing crescent moon. Waxing crescent is the beginning stages to getting to a full moon. Okay. And then we have number 1, the seed moon, new growth. I'll place you here. Can you see it? No, you can't. Okay. New location. Oh, how did I place them before? How did I like do it before? Okay, maybe if I, sorry guys. I don't remember how I placed the cards before. So I had I remember there was a spiffy layout. It was great. Don't remember what it was though. Okay, and then we have number 11. Ooh, first quarter moon, ignite. Yes. Remember I was saying this is the beginning stages of a full moon, and then you have the first quarter moon, which is the next stage, which would be, yeah, like it's proceeding. New growth, so the new start, and then the beginning stages and then getting into the action stage. It's like building up. There's a lot of build up energy going on here. So I'll lay it out like this. Yeah, you can still see all damn cards. Give me a moment, you guys. I'm gonna take a sip of water as we do a reading about water messages. And let me give me a moment to see what I'm seeing, you guys. Okay. Y'all, with that breath to like get with the messages, I just got so much presence and awareness put onto my right eyeball. Like not even the eye, it's the eyeball. Like literally so much presence going on there. And what's interesting is that the right symbolizes masculine and the logical mind and practical in the material world, and the right eye is our ability to see and perceive, like what we can perceive with the logical world and the material realm and all of this stuff, right? And it's our logical, yeah, the way that we perceive with our rationality and logic. So I feel like, remember in the beginning I was mentioning reflections for you guys and like looking at the truth and kind of having a heart-to-heart with yourself. I think, okay, hear me out, you guys, because I feel like it's gonna sound a little weird, but I feel like on some level you guys have fallen a little bit off track, but in a way that is not so obvious. I think it was little things that gradually happened, and it's because transitions were happening in your life. So you were just kind of going with well, what you thought was going with the flow, and like taking the hits as they come, addressing the things as they need to be addressed. But then you got a little bit too caught up in that part. That's why my right eye feels pressure, right? It's like there was a little bit of being too caught up in all of those day-to-day things and the next thing that's happening in the material world and the next thing. And I think there ended up being a little bit of neglect for the self, and yeah, like that self-love and the self-care. Like look at the way that she's holding her hands to her heart. It's kind of like in a gentle manner. So it's almost like certain things got either put on pause or on break, and there's just a little bit of a holdup. And you know what? Not all of the mermaids here have green tail, like in this deck have green tails, but all of the mermaids here have green tails. So, or do they all have green tails in the deck? Actually, hold on. Yeah, they don't all have green tails. Yeah. They don't all have green tails. This just so happens to be the same mermaid. You guys got the same mermaid 3 times. So, yeah, it's like as you guys are like stabilizing your material world or working on doing so, it's kind of like a reminder that this is a journey, right? So it's not all going to be 100% figured out completely right away. And when you figure one thing out, there's going to be another thing to be looking at and another thing to be looking at. But so basically there's always going to be something to look at. and there's a lot of potential going on and all of this stuff. But because this is happening, you guys need to be looking at it long term, right? Like long game, playing the long game, which means coming back to doing those things that felt right to you, those creative things that were fun for you. I feel like you guys are already getting close to starting those up again if you haven't started them up again. Like, because acting on creative impulse, right, and drive and inspiration is also an act of self-care. So it feels like that return card is yeah, it's almost like your soul needing a bit of relief, or yeah, that's what it is. It's like your soul needing a little bit of relief or connection, something to kind of help you feel connected with your soul again. So that would be like creativity, doing self-care, taking care of yourself, taking a breather, right? It was me taking a breath that helped me feel that energy in my right eye, right? So it's almost like sometimes people get tunnel vision and they don't realize because they're like the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So that's why I was saying it's like this is a long haul kind of thing. So try not to tire yourself out, right? You're gonna have to make pit stops, right? To make sure that, like, to check in with yourself. Am I doing good? Yep. Okay, let's keep going. Am I doing good? Yes, but let me give myself like a little break so I can do my favorite things, and also do the things that make me feel taken care of, and then we'll keep going, right? Because you guys have learned what it means to have a balanced life. And now it just kind of feels like, and you sort of worked on practicing that for some time too, but now it feels like there's a reminder for that coming through again. Okay, it's like just continue to remember balance is important in your life. And now that you're aware, maybe you were already aware from the beginning for some of you guys, but for some of you who may not have been, now you are aware this is a long-term kind of thing, a long haul goal. So those breaks are important, okay? You don't want to keep pushing yourself and then getting to, and like, I feel like I'm telling you this, but you guys already know this, you know? That's why I was saying it's like a reminder, or needing to kind of look at yourself in the mirror again and being like, whoa, I didn't realize I got bags under my eyes. You know what I mean? Okay, let's see what else we're getting here. Okay. Oh, I have ink on my nail. But yes, so with the dreaming and the free spirit and hope, like, I do feel like you guys are a free spirit. Sometimes when you see the words on the card, it doesn't always have to mean like this is exactly what the card is saying. But I do feel like you guys have that energy. There is a joyfulness. There is like there is a beautiful peace and serenity about you, and a light. Oh yes, light, right? And the light went on, and you guys have a sun here with that meditation card. Like, you guys have a beautiful light. And it shines through. So I think like that is correlated with the free spirit. It's just because you guys really do try to align with that. You try to follow, like you're following the rainbow, right? You're following the guidance. You guys are good at following guidance, divine guidance too. Even if maybe there are times where you miss it a little bit, the moment you realize, you're like, oh, I didn't realize I have a missed message, right? From the universe, from my guides. Like you hear the voicemail and you're like, got it, on the job. You know what I mean? And with the dreaming, again, this is talking about like that break. This is making me think of those pit stops. You need those pit stops to kind of set you up for going to the next place. What else do we have here? Yeah, again, there's like success, and then like the work that you're putting in, and death, right? So death is interesting because death is for some of you guys, it's a burnout, but there's something more here, because like we've got the dreaming and the death, and both of them have a shell. So I think it's also correlated with rest. Like we were talking, yeah, because I told you the dreaming is making me think of those pit stops, right? So taking those breaks, and the death card also, it can be kind of like a rest and then keep going towards your success and hard work, and then rest and keep going, right? Because you do have the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight, but it is steady progress that is long lasting. Okay, so yes. Let's see what else we've got coming in. What else is the message from the ocean? So far, the biggest message is making sure that you guys get the rest that you need, and kind of like coming back to like self-gratitude, right? Acknowledging how far you've come, like, and that self-care. You're by being like, yes, group 3, I have come far, and I am doing really well, and before I get too tired, I am going to take a break because I deserve it, because I've done so well, you know, and like, let me check in with my inner child. Like, am I doing good? Do I need anything? You know, stuff like that. Like, you guys are good at doing that, but I guess you just needed the reminder, like, don't be skimping on it, as the times are to come. Let me see what else I'm picking up, though. Yeah, interesting, because remember we were talking about that self-reflection. So we've got meditate, and then we have the hermit. So these are both like introspective cards. And it's funny because with this world card, it's like somebody that's out of the world, right? But, and also like with the return, there was hints at the galactic origin. So maybe for those of you guys who align with it, it could be confirmation for, again, those of you who align with it, about like star seeds, being star seeds. I definitely feel like you guys are 100% light workers with whatever it is that you are doing, okay? You accomplish your goals by following your joy. It's not about having a specific task that you accomplish in your lifetime, and or like a specific task is in a specific career, right? Because the greatest accomplishment of our lifetime is being able to live authentically, which helps us to live with our joy and with purpose, and that is us fulfilling our purpose, right, and our mission, because we follow through with that joy and that divine spark and all of that stuff. And so it leads to easier flow of the conversations that need to be had with the people we need to meet, and all of this stuff, right? But yeah, it's interesting because, again, it's like there's this need, because remember I said in the beginning, it's like you guys need to like have a heart to heart with yourself and realize like, oh, okay, maybe I have been neglecting myself. Maybe it's like you guys were really, really good at taking care of yourself and doing things tenderly, but like I said, like then maybe you got a little carried away with the material world or the physical world, and that part fell behind a little bit, but you didn't realize that on some level it turned into a little bit of a possibly maybe an emotional neglect for a couple of you guys, or maybe it's just calling for like a slightly deeper healing with the heart, because it does feel like something to do with your heart. But yeah, I feel like there are a couple of things that are still being released here, but they all have to do with you giving yourself that pit stop and just kind of tuning in, right? It's also going to help you guys to re-energize, not just because you're getting the rest that you need, but because you're channeling and tuning into that light of yours. Yeah, synergy. It's about working right, like working well with with the universe and divine timing and like creating this flow. And this like partnership and all of this stuff. And it's funny here because you have my joyful dedication and perseverance are paying off. So it almost feels like words of encouragement for this longer journey ahead. Sorry, there's a hair. Yeah, even the Three of Wands, there's a correlation to like looking ahead, right? Looking ahead at something that is starting to come into bloom or that you're anticipating. Yeah, that you're anticipating with the new growth, the Fool, right? That there's like this fertility, this newness, the building into the full moon, and like the first stage and the second stage, and with Neptune and dreaming, there's just this like extra creativity. That's why I was mentioning creativity before. And with Gemini too, I feel like you guys are good communicators. I feel like some of you guys could be really good storytellers too. But I think, communication coming through again. Yes, remember I said it. You guys need to have like a talk with yourself, like coming to terms with yourself in regards to really assessing if your heart is feeling full or not. Because if it's not, then it just means that you guys really do need that extra pit stop to give to yourself. But that seems to be like the biggest thing coming through for you guys, to be honest with you. Like, it seems like overall the biggest message here is like a reminder. Yeah, it's a reminder like, hey, group 3, make sure that you guys are giving yourselves the breaks that you need, that you're checking in with yourselves, and that you're really assessing if you're fulfilled, if you're feeling satisfied or fulfilled or happy. And if you feel like you have the energy to keep going. Because if you need to pause, you need to pause. Don't just think about the deadlines. Think about the long term. Keep bringing it back. Like, the world is an outside perspective, right? They kept mentioning, you're doing this long term. It's a long term goal. Okay? This is something that's like a long run kind of thing. So you don't want to pull out all of your energy now and then burn out or lose the drive or motivation because you just put in too much in the beginning. So just really have this talk with yourself and realize that you taking those stops is not you interrupting the flow, because sometimes it may feel like that in the moment, but it's not about interrupting the flow. You guys are on a divinely inspired path, so it's not just something that you're gonna stop caring about because you took a break. So take the break, you guys, okay? Take the break and get creative and get excited for starting up again. But even if you feel like, oh, but I don't need a break right now, I can keep going. It's like, no. That's where that reflection is coming in. That's why, like, in the beginning, like I told you, when I took a breath, I needed to take a breath in silence before I felt my right eye. Right? So it's like you guys need that meditation, right? It's like this introspection, this moment of quiet, and then looking in, shining that light within and being like, hey, are we good in here? So that we can keep going out there without pressure on yourself, of course, and all of that too, right? Because you would never want to put pressure on yourself because then your inner child and like your subconscious are going to take that as you're rushing me, so of course I'm going to say I'm fine and we're going to keep going, right? And that's not being authentic to yourself, and it's not being kind to yourself. And it's not holding the space for you to be fully comfortable with you. Like, it's like your inner child would not be fully comfortable with the adult you that was making them feel like their emotions are not as important as getting back on track with our journey, right? So make sure that you give yourself the patience that you need, and the gentleness that you need, and the approach that you need, because you guys already know all of this stuff, okay? But yeah, and then also a reminder that you guys are a beautiful, radiant light. You guys are the light. You are the light. So if you're ever having a moment of tiredness, or this is for a very few of you, but like tiredness or anxiety, or some kind of stress or worry, just remember, if you can, that you are the light. You are the light of God. That's it. Just keep that in mind, and then do a little bit, like, say that to yourself a few times, and then maybe visualize yourself as light. Take a breath, and then keep going. Okay? So yeah, and with the Two of Cups, it's kind of like you have these two sides to you, and both of them need nurturing and acknowledgement, right? The driven part of you, and then this other emotional part of you that maybe can sometimes quiet down when the driven part is talking or excited, which makes it a little harder to see it sometimes. So yeah, group 3, that was kind of your reading. I hope that it was clear, since it was coming through a lot more concise. I think this is already like so much shorter than the first 2 groups. But yeah, that was the main thing that was coming through. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that it was clear for you. I'm feeling a little fogginess the last few days, to be honest with you, as part of being sick and stuff. So yeah, so hopefully that was good enough. But yes, I really hope that this was a clear message for you guys. I know I said that like 3 times already. And that it made sense to you, and that it was something that is hopefully easy to apply for you, so it's not too hard. So take the break that you guys need, okay? Hey, group 3, this is an insert from clearly this is an insert from another moment, but I completely forgot, you guys, to do a reading of your seashell. So the other groups got to get a seashell reading. I wanted to make sure that you guys got one too. With you guys, the first thing I wanted to say, I'm getting that you guys are extremely this is kind of funny. I feel like you guys are so cute, because this is really giving, I don't know why, but it's making me think of a penguin, but also like an owl penguin. So I do feel like you guys are very wise, and you're very intuitive. So you guys are very intuitive. It's so funny. I just finished filming group 4, so I don't remember your group at all. So this is definitely a cold reading on the shell. I do remember saying that you guys are special, I think. I'm not. You guys are special. I'm sorry. I don't mean to say I think. You guys are special. But yeah, so I feel like you guys are very intuitive. There is a beautiful wisdom about you. And let me see what else I'm getting here. Yeah, you guys are very, there's like a peace. There is a peace about you. There's a peace about you, because this is making me think of the night as well. So there is like a calmness and a peace about you. See what else I'm getting here. Okay. I feel like you guys are starting to head onto a journey of you know what, this actually reminds me of your reading now, because I'm seeing a cup here, so it's making me think of emotional new beginnings, and like a reminder to start a reminder to fulfilling your emotional needs. And I'm also seeing a boat, which is making me think of the Six of Swords, which again, it's kind of like moving into emotionally clear waters. So it feels like you guys are now yes, I remember now in your reading I said you guys are good at taking advice. Well, it's coming through here, like it feels like you guys are going to be taking that advice now. You're going to be addressing, like you guys are really good at doing what needs to be done. So I want to applaud you guys for that, by the way, and give you the kudos, because not everyone is able to actually follow through on those kinds of things, right? But you guys do it. Even if you fall off track, you get back on track, you know? So I'm very proud of you. That's not something that you should brush off easily, and I hope that you can be proud of yourself for doing that too. So I'm proud of you for sorry guys, for not judging yourself for falling a little off track or getting a little lost in the sauce, or with that, like how I mentioned, I think tunnel vision a little bit, right? So not, instead of judging yourself on that, you guys are just like, okay, I understand the assignment, being gentle, you know? So that's another thing for you guys to, that I applaud you guys on, right? So yeah, that was your little seashell reading, group 3. Sorry that it's a random excerpt, but yeah, and it's at the end of your video. But at least this way, because I wanted to be authentic, you know, I didn't want to post it in the beginning of your video if I remember, to be like, oh yes, I foresee everything that, you know, we're going to talk about in the reading, which, I mean, that happens anyway, but still. Okay. Yeah, clearly it's time for me to go. Bye, group 3. But yeah, group 3, that's it for your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I would appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up. Also, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Okay, I know that I take a while to respond to the comments, but I still love seeing your comments. I love hearing from you guys. And you know, I think I'm gonna I put so much pressure on myself to try to respond to all the comments, and sometimes it gets a little overwhelming, especially when personal life stuff is happening. But I definitely read your comments, you guys, and I will acknowledge them by, if not fully responding, doing a like. But yes, I'd love to hear from you guys. Also, if you guys are interested in my videos, you can check out the other videos on my channel. I'd also appreciate, you don't have to, but I would appreciate if you did subscribe to the channel, as it does help the channel, and so on and so forth. And yeah, if you guys are interested in either a personal private reading or a custom crystal bracelet, or a custom affirmation song, you can either reach out to me through the contacts page on my website or through my email. I also have an Instagram, which I'm not really active on, but there was somebody in these last 3 weeks that reached out to me through my website in regards to a personal reading. And I am so sorry if you just so happen to be watching this group or this message. I am so sorry, hon, but when I keep trying to respond to your email, for some reason it keeps saying that the email is not valid. So I'm trying to figure it out. But that is the reason why I have not responded to you yet. It's not because I'm ignoring your email or I didn't see it. It's just when I try to respond to your email, it fails to send, saying that the email address I'm sending to does not exist, which makes no sense. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to work with in that regard. But yes, aside from that, I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. Okay, I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light, and I'll see you guys in the next reading. Bye, group 3. Hey, group 4. This is your group if you chose this little cute, beautiful shell. Look how pretty. Okay, gorgeous, simply gorgeous. Oh, I just realized for group 3 I forgot to do a shell reading. Oh well, I guess they weren't meant to get a shell reading, and I only remembered because of you guys. Actually, I told group 3 this too, but y'all, between you and group 3 and group 1 and group 2, there has been a few weeks since I filmed. So yes, as you may have seen, the beginning portion, the beginning groups are a bit longer, but I'm trying to not keep you guys here for too long. So I'm gonna see if I can make your reading a little bit shorter. Okay, we'll try to be a little bit more concise, and hopefully I can start getting more concise videos on the channel in addition to long form videos. But yes, this is your shell. So let me see if I'm getting anything here. I did finish shuffling your cards too, so they're to the side, but I haven't seen them yet. So let me also ring the singing bowls for you guys. First of all, also, you guys, I'm recovering from being sick, so if you hear me coughing, 'tis why. You know, actually, funnily enough, you guys, the shell that you chose, the shell that you guys chose, is the shell that I call the Aphrodite shell. So I believe this is the one. Let me actually look through the other shells, but I'm pretty sure this is the one. This is the moment. This is the day. From all of the coughing, my voice is kind of shot, so it sounds just okay. Yes. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Yeah, that is my Aphrodite shell. So I should have just trusted myself. I don't know why I didn't. Because it's been a few weeks, that's why. Okay, this is the Aphrodite shell, you guys. So I think it's very interesting because while I was shuffling, I also happened to come across it didn't fall out, but it was the Lovers card in one of the Oracle decks, and it was Aphrodite and Aries. So it's funny because then we're also getting the Aphrodite shell. The fact that you guys have the Aphrodite shell coming out, honestly, it's giving off Venus energy for sure. But part of that message, give me a moment, you guys. I feel like you guys are very charming, and there's something very kind-hearted about you. You guys have a very beautiful presence. I also think that a lot of people think that you guys are beautiful too. I think there's something about your face that makes people want to keep looking at you. For some reason, I'm hearing like almost like the moon. So yeah, like I don't know if some of you guys may have like a round face, or maybe your face like just glows, and maybe because they associate it with that like nurturing energy, it's more like a moon. Yeah, let me see. me see if I'm getting anything else. Pardone. I also feel like there are a lot of layers to you guys that not many people get to see. I think that people feel like they know you, like the people who interact with you, they feel like, oh yeah, we know group 4. Group 4 is this, this, and this, you know, or group 4 is so this, you know, and they speak highly of you. But though they're saying true things, it's almost like because they're so charmed or enamored by you, they're only seeing a portion. And then part of their thing is, I don't want to say it's delusional, but I think there could be a couple of people that have a couple of delusions about you. They're just like, well, since group 4 is so this, they must be. And it's all like positive stuff, you know, but at the same time, you're like, hello, I'm in a human vessel. Like, can you please see me? Like, I think that could be something that maybe you guys sometimes have a hard time with, is being seen. Like, people see you and they say like they admire you and all of this stuff because, again, like, you guys are very charming. You have a beautiful, bright smile. Like, there's something very charming about you. But it's like people are seeing you surface level and the way that you're interacting with them, and they get certain traits, but they're not seeing you like your core, your essence. Like, they're seeing parts of it, but not all of you. And I think it can be difficult because it's almost like, for example, like if somebody perceives someone as being pure and gentle and all of this stuff all the time, and it kind of limits or restricts that person from like making dirty jokes or like talking about sexual things and stuff like that, right? Or that person may feel like they're limited in those things because now everyone has an expectation of them maintaining this pure reputation that the public gave them, right? So it kind of is giving off similar vibes to that. But let's see what your cards have to say. I'm curious. So this is going to be messages from the ocean. Messages from the ocean and the aquatic realm. Let us see. We've got the King of Swords. Oh, interesting. Oh, extra interesting. Okay, the Eight of Cups, which is interesting because this came out in the last group in the same position. But then this is interesting because the Lovers, and remember I just mentioned so you know what? Let me pull out that Aries and Aphrodite Lovers card, because why not? Let me just pull it out. Where you at, girl? Will you make yourself known? Because I accidentally like flipped to it. Or I split. Yeah, there it is. It was so easy to split the deck to this. Okay, yeah. So I'll pull it out. Why not? Oh, what was that? Oh, sorry. I thought I saw something on my finger. Okay. For now, I'll put it to the side here. I'll show it to you guys later when we get to these cards. Okay. The High Priestess. Eight of Pentacles. Let me see how far I can push these cards. The World. They can have the world. The Sun. Oh, interesting. It's funny, right? Because I said, you know, for some of you guys, maybe you guys can look like have a round face because we mentioned the moon with like the face, right? But actually I also have the sun, so that's funny. They can have the world. We'll create our own. Temperance. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I just love how beautiful this deck is, but I love how vibrant the colors are. They just pop. I love it. And it's in like this travel vintage pop art style-esque aesthetic. Autumn. So this is a custom card. So this particular, ooh, sorry. Oh, interesting. I accidentally threw the autumn card onto the Aphrodite and Aries. I follow my heart lovers card. Interesting. But what I was going to say was this deck comes, it's a tarot deck, but it comes with a few extra cards. And autumn is one of those cards. So it is not a tarot card. It is an extra card. Or it doesn't correlate with any tarot cards. Okay, then we have justice. Justice will be served. The world again. And it's just funny how here there's extra emphasis of as above, so below, like above and below. The fish is above the bird, which I think is interesting. So it's funny. Okay, and then the 7 of thunder, which is the 7 of swords. Interesting. Okay. Then we have re-energize. Turn away. Turn around every now and then. No, I'm kidding. Love. Just go into whole musical for you guys. Let me bring in that Aphrodite and Aries card. So here it is. Lovers, I follow my heart. 20. Oh, that's number 4. This is 26. God of the Nile, enrichment, my joyful dedication and perseverance are paying off. It's funny because I feel like this came out in 3 groups. Like this card came out in 3 groups. And I shuffle, you guys. I shuffle, but it is what it is. Okay. The ocean is really trying to say that, I guess, to everyone. Number 40, underwater temple, growth. I consciously change and evolve. This is interesting because she is pregnant. And you know what, you guys? I actually, when I first started, this was actually the first card, I think, that I saw while I was shuffling. Oh, interesting. Do we keep this? Do we keep this card? Do we keep this card? Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay, so you guys... yeah, so you actually don't get an extra card. There was a card that came out, but I was like, off the bat, I felt like, oh, what the heck? Even this. This just, again, I shuffled, but you guys have light. My light radiates through my life and the world around me. This came out in the last group too, but you know what? It correlates with the sun card. Then we have Cancer. Jupiter. Can you see it here? And Virgo. And also we have the blessing moon with contentment. And ooh, the blue moon with renewal. You guys got 2. Oh, and this one is number 5, and then this one is the number 9. Renewal, blue moon. And I'm gonna show you a close-up. I don't remember if I did it or not. So very pretty card. Okay guys, give me a moment to see what I'm seeing for you. Oh, my throat. One sec. I feel like I have to ring the singing bowls again, you guys, so I'm gonna do that. we're gonna get into more messages as they reveal themselves, but for some reason they're kind of making it like sometimes I can see multiple things at once and I'll talk about one thing at a time or all of them at once. But for you guys, I feel like they're almost like making these messages, like they're making me focus on one thing at a time. So the first thing that kind of came through is that you guys have a very rich inner world. Like it feels like you can have a very beautiful imagination. And again, it's like a very rich inner world. Like your mind works in such an incredible way. Yeah, it's like you have a very, your mind works in a very original way, you could say. So I would say that you guys are more on the creative side. Very creative, okay? Very creative. Because I feel like you guys have a very unique way of perceiving the world, which makes it very interesting to kind of go about your day-to-day life. So almost like, you know how a kid can start making stories and whatnot? I feel like you guys just, again, it's like you have a very interesting way of perceiving the world to the point where maybe even sometimes you genuinely mishear what somebody says or saw incorrectly for a moment something, and you saw like a funnier version of it, like a goofier, sillier version of it. You're like, wait, what? Like it made you have to do a double take or be like, what did you just say? You know? But yeah, I kind of feel like that happens to you guys. That's coming through strongly here. I feel like you guys are kind of quirky. Yeah, you guys are kind of quirky. It's interesting too because we have this idea of how people view you. Yeah, okay. We're trying to get what the message from the ocean and the aquatic realms is for you guys, but they're talking about this still, but okay. There's this, again, it's just like how there's some kind of emphasis on the way that people view you. And okay, are you guys just gonna stop talking? Sorry, I'm like talking to my guides because I'm here like for some reason it's completely blank. Sorry guys, I'm gonna need one more minute with you. Give me a moment. What are you trying to bring my attention to then? Okay. Yeah, so like I said, with you guys, they're only doing it one at a time and it's random order. So, okay, it seems like the next thing we're going to be looking at is this Virgo card. So again, there's this unique way of perceiving the world, and sometimes there's this quirkiness and like possibility of mishearing or not seeing something correctly the first time. But energetically, sometimes it is the correct thing. But it's just funny because it keeps things interesting. I would say for you guys, for the people around you, I think people find it entertaining. But this quirkiness, I feel like, is also going into the way that you guys work. Work here is being emphasized as something that is very, very, very important to you. Whether you guys are entrepreneurs or would like to be in the future, or even if you're students right now, right? It's like whatever it is that you are perceiving your career to be, even if you don't know what you want to do, which I think is a little unlikely for the majority of you, there's like this emphasis where career has a very big like prominence in your life. Yeah, I'm surprised it's not here, but I'm kind of seeing almost like the Six of Pentacles, where there's a person and they're holding a scale and they're giving out coins to people. So it almost feels like that is you guys with a career. It's like you guys, there's a prominence on you, and then giving out to the people. So I think maybe that's one of the reasons why career is so big for you guys, because I think you guys have whether you guys want to give back through the career that you are either have or want to have. But there is an emphasis on career, but I think it's because you are of service through the career that you are going for. Or at least I think that's the goal or the way that you're trying to do. Yeah, because even here we have the 8 of Pentacles, which again is talking about like that work ethic and like putting in the energy into work. But again, it's because with work, there's a prominence in how you serve the world. Or at least it's one of the ways that you want to be serving the world. And it's so important for you, which is why there's such an emphasis on your career. Okay. So what is next? If you guys are a little confused as to what the message from the ocean is, don't worry, so am I. We'll get there together. Right now we're just doing this one by one thing, so let's see what the next message is. Yeah, okay. God of the Nile, enrichment, my joyful dedication and perseverance are paying off. Yeah, so there's, yeah, even here. So for those of you guys who are working, can you let me know in the comments, like, is it that you guys are either entrepreneurs, or even if you are working under someone, is it that you guys are enjoying the job that you do, or that you find great fulfillment in the job that you have? Or like you really feel like you're being of service through this career? Or is it like a career that you want to be switching to, or a goal of a career that you want to be onto? Like I'm really curious, because again, there's like this vibe with this God of the Nile card. You know what? Again, it's making me think of somebody that stands like there's a person and then the people below. Okay, so just like I was saying, like this Virgo card is giving me that 6 of Pentacles vibe. It's like a mix of the 6 of Pentacles and the 6 of Cups, but it's really the 6 of Pentacles where this person is giving out to the people. With this God of the Nile, something about the way that he is here, it's making me think of the same thing, like giving to the people. But there's this great prominence on being like the person that's standing out. And yeah, remember we were saying that, like, it's there is something about you. There is, you know what, a few readings ago, I don't know how many readings ago, because it's been a while, but I do have a few readings where I mention like one of the groups has like a star quality. So I'm wondering if you guys have watched those readings from the past, and that was like the stuff that you guys heard. But there is like this energy of, for lack of a better term, almost like a star quality. There's something that, or just like a star in general, not like a celebrity star, but like an actual star where it has a strong gravitational force and like people are pulled to you. Like there's something about you, like people are drawn to you, and it works, and it's meant to be that way, because whatever it is that you guys are going to do with your career and the act of service, or that maybe some of you guys are already doing to help the people, it requires you to be able to grab the attention of the people. But I feel like people naturally trust you. Like, again, there's this nurturing vibe. Interesting. This is so interesting. Okay, what's the next card that you guys are going to pull me to? Because it's literally like we're just bouncing around. But you know what I think is funny? I think it's funny because I feel like it's a reflection of how your mind works. I think like your mind also, like that's what I'm getting for the majority of you guys, group 4, is like your mind bounces around. Like it can hyper focus on something, but like it's not necessarily chronological order. It's just like, okay, this is the thing that I'm going to work on now. And now this thing, and now this thing, and next this thing, you know, and it's like you focus vigilantly, is that the right terminology for this, on that thing, and you give it the attention it needs, but then you bounce around to something else. But you know what? It works for you guys. So That's fine. So I guess the next card is going to be the World card. So you guys actually got the World card twice, but we already addressed this World card, to be honest with you, with when it came to the way, whatever, that you perceive, that you like hear things and stuff. With this World card, I feel like, honestly, I feel like you guys are also really good manifestors, and you're able to attract a lot of good opportunities, situations, and even people into your life. There's something like, you know what? I'm not surprised that the Sun card is here now. And I believe this is Ra. This is supposed to be Ra, and then you have the light. I feel like there's such solar plexus energy kind of going on here, like this manifestation, this creation kind of energy coming through, and this personal power. So I feel like you guys are master creators, you know. So also surprised the Magician didn't come out. You guys are also very intuitive. But again, your intuition feels very unique. Like it feels, again, I think I said it a couple of times now, you guys have a quirkiness to you, and it's beautiful. I think it's wonderful. It adds to your charm. Like you guys are very charming, and this quirkiness and this uniqueness is specifically what makes you stand out even more, and like makes you an even taller or more prominent figure for other people. It makes you more memorable, right? It's that's another reason why some people could be like, you're our local celebrity, you know, something along those lines, because again, it's like this is a quality that a celebrity would have, right? Or a very successful celebrity would have. So I think that's why people may even compare you sometimes to that, or like joke about it. You're our local celebrity, or whatever it is. Maybe some of you guys are trying to be actors or something along those lines too, you know? So yeah, let's see what else. What is the next thing? What beeth the next thing? Temperance, okay. One sec, you guys. I feel like the way that you guys observe the world is part of like your meditation ritual. And it's not like you guys trying, it's just the way your mind works. But yeah, it's like that's part of your meditation ritual. Something about the way that you perceive the world. You guys are very observant. I think that's another reason that people like you so much. Like that's another thing that adds to your like likability, is because you're so observant. You're able to either I feel like this is going to be something that varies for you, group 4, from person to person, how this observation comes through. For some of you guys, it's going to be observing people, you know, and so, or like being extra attentive to what people are saying. So like the next time you encounter them, you'll be like, oh yeah, I ordered pizza, but I left out the garlic because I remember you said that, you know, garlic makes you feel sick. And they'll feel so touched, like, we only met once, but you remember that I said that, like that specific thing, and you changed the order for the whole office just because I don't like garlic, you know, stuff like that. So for some of you guys, it's going to be something like the hearing. For some of you guys, it's going to be maybe you noticing something about people's clothes or whatever. It's like very, again, like I said, this is going to be something that varies. It can get very quirky. Is this the coined word for the reading for you guys for group 4? But yeah, it can get very specific, but it feels like that. Like there's something that you guys are good at being observant about. And and again, it's just like your natural way of doing it, right? Your natural way of being. And it's almost like a meditation and stuff, but it's like a fusion kind of thing. So I don't know, it's weird, but there's something, and it adds to your charm because it helps you. It's just something, again, that you do naturally, but you doing this somehow also makes people feel seen. And you may not even feel like you're doing extra for others. Again, it's just the way your mind works, and the way that you perceive, right? Or the way that you pay attention to the world around you. But people just so happen to be like, wow, group four can is really seeing me right now, or they're like being so attentive to me. And it's like, you guys are just being yourself. Oh. Sorry guys, like I said, I'm overcoming being sick. Okay, let me see what else. What's the next card that we're going to be looking at? Okay, now we've gone to the King of Swords. I feel like people also come to you guys for guidance. You guys seem to be like the person, like you could almost be like a community leader, or if you guys were part of a group, people would maybe want you guys to be the leader of the group. Or there's something about, like, people really trust you guys because they've seen your work ethic. They feel your nurturing energy, how vibrant your light is, this like star quality. And there's like this raw in this image is giving off like teacher vibes for some reason. So again, like a teacher is somebody that the students, the people look up to get this knowledge, this information. You're looking to them to kind of help uphold you, right? And with this King of Swords card, I'm kind of getting that too. It's almost like it's making me think of like King Arthur. So it's almost, again, it's like the people have turned to you. So I feel like, yeah, the way that you guys communicate, something about the way that you communicate, even if it's stern, even if it's direct, it's like, it just works. Whatever it is, it works. Like, people think that you are fair. And I think I feel like they trust your judgment too, so that's what I'm saying. It's like, whatever it is that you communicate, it just works because people have this perception of you like, oh yes, group 4 is fair, group 4 is this. Just like I was saying in the beginning with the shell, like they kind of put traits onto you. Some of them are true, some of them for a few of them are going to be putting on like things that they want you to be like as well, because again, they're giving you this like star quality energy. So I think it's funny because, yes, so with this King of Swords, we're getting that, like, this is so weird. Okay. Obviously, this is going to be super, super specific, you guys. Super, super specific. But I keep getting the name Caleb. Okay? I don't know anybody named Caleb in my current life. So I don't know. I don't know if somebody knows a Caleb, okay? Or if their name is Caleb. I just keep getting that name so strongly, like when I'm looking at this King of Swords and while I'm talking in this area here. So now that I've said it, I feel peace, okay? I feel peace because it is cleared from my mind, but I just couldn't concentrate on anything apart from that name. I just kept seeing it and like hearing it, and I'm just like, who is Caleb? What does Caleb need to know? Why does the name need to be spoken? Whatever significance that may have, I would love to know in the comments for whenever that person comes across this message. Watch. It would be hilarious if everyone in group 4 was like, Caleb, that's my name, or I know a Caleb. That would be hilarious. Okay, anyway, back to the read. But yes, so there is You guys, no, now I can't have peace. I'm gonna look up what the name means. Okay, give me 1 second. What does Caleb mean? Oh, interesting. Well, and I'm saying this, and I was like, yeah, well, I'm talking about the King of Swords. You guys, Caleb means faithful, wholehearted, bold, or brave. Some people also think that it might mean devotion to God. But it can also mean wholehearted. Because I was going to say, I heard it mean, like, I remember something about dog, but all of this other stuff makes a lot of sense with the wholehearted. Yeah, here. Caleb is often translated as wholehearted, continuing the theme of unwavering adoration. Unwavering adoration. That is hilarious because that's what we were talking about with the people and how they view you. And then we've got I was saying this is giving King Arthur vibes and the whole like, yes, the devotion to God, but that's kind of like the devotion to purpose, right? And wanting to be of service and helping people, which I was saying, like I was with that Virgo and you know what? The Jupiter is giving that like big energy, like big purpose, like big scale that you guys are going to be accomplishing things on. And then Cancer is that oh yes, I wasn't even, because again I was saying like I was just being guided from one card to another. So the Cancer is also that nurture, and it's moon energy too, which is like emotional intellect, emotional understanding, emotional compassion, right? For the world, for the people. So yeah, but yes, with the King of Swords, I was saying it was giving King Arthur vibes. So having wholehearted, bold, brave, and even faithful, I think all of those things go so well as a trait, but I think they're probably also describing you guys. Okay. Let me see what else I'm getting. Let's see. It feels like a lot of pressure. It is a lot of pressure for you guys. I know that you can do it, and you know that you can do it. But you know, the pressure kind of comes from, it almost seems like when you guys are tired and you're like ready to take a break, sometimes you can get somebody that comes up to you and they're like, we really need your help, Caleb. I was literally about to say that. I mean, technically, I guess I did when I was telling you guys, but I was like, who is Caleb? This is hilarious. You guys, if there's a Caleb watching this video, please let me know. Who needs your help, my man? Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Oh, thank you for making me laugh, whoever you are. Okay. We need your help, Caleb. Maybe everyone who watched Group 4 should just comment that. Like, if you're from Group 4 and no one else will know, but everyone just from Group 4 in the comments is like, we need your help, Caleb. We shall summon whoever Caleb is, however of service to God and the light and the world this person must be. But anyway. Oh man, I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it's funny to me. But anyway, this poor Caleb, okay, and you guys too. But yes, it seems like whenever somebody like, whenever for, again, I was gonna say Caleb, but that whenever Caleb wants to take a break, everyone keeps knocking on Caleb's door like, yo. Group 4, is that what we should just call you now? No, I'm kidding. Okay, but yeah, so that's what it kind of feels like when you guys are getting ready to take a break. Pardon. That was quite sobering. Whenever you guys are getting ready to take a break, people are like, people would come knocking on the door like, okay, Group 4, I know that like you just helped me, but like I'm so sorry, but I still need help, or I need this, and like I only know you that knows how to do this, or I only know you that knows about this or knows who to refer me to because of this. And it's almost like you don't really get to get a break, or at least it feels that way sometimes, especially if you give in to them every single time, right? I feel like you guys are pretty good at starting to set boundaries. Some of you guys are already good at having those boundaries, but I think you guys are so compassionate that it can interfere. Like, you know what boundaries are, you know how to set them, but you're just so compassionate. But yeah, so this is what this Eight of Cups is kind of feeling like. It's almost feeling like I just need a break, you know? And I feel like people see you as so big and so bold and so strong and brave. Like, what was it again? They see you as wholehearted, bold, faithful, and brave. So I feel like people see you as that. And it's not that you guys are trying to put on that facade now that people perceive you that way, but it almost feels like sometimes you can't have a moment to just like bend over and catch your breath, you know, or like a slight sign of weakness. Like people are expecting you to stand up straight. Like it's almost like somebody's like, oh, hey, I need your attention. And then this person has to instantly stand up straight, turn around and put on a smile. It feels like quite a bit of pressure. And it's not that you have to do this with everyone, but I feel like a majority of the people, it's almost like you have to kind of, it's either expected of you or you put that kind of pressure on yourself, or it's a combination of both. But yeah, let's see what else. Where's the next card, y'all? What is the next card y'all are taking me to? Group 4. Group 4. Yeah, Four. Group 4. Sorry. Let's see, what's next? Turn away. Okay, interesting. Oh, when I first put down the card, when I first put down the card, initially, I saw this and I was like, is it like people turning away? Is it sassy? But now that we're like, just the cards are going where they're going and my eyes are going where they need to, and I look at turn away, it actually, what it's making me think of now is almost like a, oh my goodness, I'm naked, turn away. But that's what this card is giving, you know? It doesn't look like she's wearing a bra, or, I mean, none of them are. But like with turn away and her looking over her shoulder, she's like, look away, the ladies are out, you know? So, give me a moment to decipher that for you, decode it, if you will. Let's see. Yeah, it's like you guys are trying to have a little bit of a private life. I think some people don't realize that they're invading a little too much, or they're coming a little too often. Like there's something about that being in the air as well. That yeah, even here, it's like you're trying to have a moment in the shadow, in the shade, in privacy where no one can see you, but then you have to kind of stand up because they approach from there. And I get, yeah, that's why that was the next thing that came over. Yeah, they're like, with the turn away, it's like, again, you're just like, okay, can I have a moment of peace, please? Like, there is this kind of a, I can see that being a frustration for you guys, basically. And it's like you need this moment in order to charge up for you too, right? Because if all of your energy goes for others, what is happening for you. You guys are very, very strong. Like, you're very, very, very strong. Okay? You're brave and whatever the other words to describe Caleb are. I'm just kidding. And a whole bunch of other stuff, obviously. But you're very, very strong, and you're very capable. So you're able to endure this kind of behavior from others and like people needing you and stuff. You're able to endure it a lot more than most people before feeling like you're burning out. Like you're able to handle so much without burning out, but it increases the fire energy within you. Which kind of winds you up a little, and it makes it hard to have rest. So that's why rest is important, and that's why those boundaries are important for you guys too. Like, even though you can handle a lot, doesn't mean you should always be handling a lot. Okay, now we're finally coming into your message from the ocean and from the waters and aquatic realms. Okay, you guys need that quiet and peace and space to grow. And people will give it to you if you ask. But you just need to let them know, hey, clear the throat clearly a bazillion times. But like, hey, I really want to help you. I will help you. But you've got to give me like a week or 2 weeks to get back to you. I can't keep doing this right away like you need me to, or like I have been. It's just not going to work anymore that way, okay? This is my new way of doing things. This is how we're going to be doing it. Since you're the one doing it anyway, you've got to let them know, because they're relying on you. You know, so like they're putting their trust in you, and they're relying on you for that kind of answer. So you have a little bit of power in that, you know, and you can start negotiating a little bit. So if you are working for somebody else, you can let them know like, hey, I don't have a problem doing this, but I've got a lot on my plate right now, and I've got stuff going on in my personal life. So I want to help you. I want to do the best that I can, but I just need a minute, okay? And then like give me a few days, and then we can talk about this again. I'll look over the proposal that you send me or whatever it may be, and then we can move forward from there, okay? And I'll get it to you in a timely fashion. Or if it's like people coming to you for advice, it's like, hey, I 100% understand you're having a hard time. Don't mean to cut you off. Like literally, you're going to have to cut them off, right? Don't just let them rant, because that's also draining. So you're just going to have to sometimes cut them off and be like, hey, I'm just going to stop you right here, okay? I care about what you have to say. It is important to me. I want to help you. But right now, I have so much stuff that is on my plate that if I don't get it done, I will be in big trouble, or whatever else it may be, you know, or if I don't address this, I won't be able to be of help to anyone. So I have to prioritize this first. I will get back to you once it's done, and then we can talk about your thing. You know, something along those lines. Like, it's a clear boundary, or it's a clear kind of like it's not even really a boundary, right? It's almost like putting someone in their place. Because like I said, you guys know about boundaries, but it's more of like you guys having to sometimes put people in their place. So I'm being like, yeah, look, I need a break. I need a moment. I need a minute. I need a week. So you guys need that. Where is all this hair coming from? It's just like every single time I look, there's another piece of hair, and they all seem to be around here. Oh, there's another one, an eyelash. Where is it coming from? It wasn't there a minute ago. I didn't blink over the cards. Hair is appearing. Maybe you guys are, I don't know. Wait, is it? Yeah. Maybe you guys are going to be growing more hair. Because I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it's hair growth. And then I looked at the growth card. So yes. And enrichment, growth and enrichment. So yeah, okay. But yeah, moving on. Next. Yeah, because with the Seven of Thunder, it almost feels like you're going to tell people and then maybe they're going to try to bring it up again. Like they're not going to be patient because they're used to you addressing before. Well, again, this is going to be split, I feel like now, in regards to some of you guys would tolerate that. Some of you guys would be like, no, I already told you this, so you got to wait on this. Okay. I do really feel like a lot of you guys have clear boundaries, but there are also some of you who don't, because it's like I said, there is a bit of a split here. But yeah, so it almost feels like people are trying to test those boundaries with the Seven of Swords or Seven of Thunder. So it's like you guys are going to have to reaffirm that a few times. I also feel like you guys are looking for your soulmate. Low key, high key. Low key, high key, looking for love. Yeah, because you have the lovers, you have love, and then you have lovers again. And it's Aphrodite and Aries, and this is the Aphrodite card. So I think that's kind of funny. So yeah, I'm seeing you guys are kind of looking for love. You're looking for, yeah, you know what? I'm being so nitpicky about what is going on with the cards. I feel like you guys are very attentive to details, or like I said, like there's like you guys are very attentive to unique things. It's a plus and it's a minus. It's a plus because it can make your like it's you it can make you stand out more and all of this stuff, and like it actually can help benefit you either in career or with people or whatever. But it's also a negative because it can then take up space in your mind, almost like OCD or something like that. So it makes it a little hard to have peace as well. That's why I was saying, like, there needs to be a balance of that fiery energy that the stress brings out in you guys, because you guys don't burn out as easy as most people. So I feel like when you guys are like some of you guys could even get like a rush or a thrill from work. And it's because you're getting like, again, it's like that fire energy, that fuel, and you think it's fuel, but it's really like adrenaline, and it's not necessarily something that is a good thing to constantly be feeling, because you do need peace and you do need calm and you do need rest and relaxation so that you can go through this beautiful transformation, which this underwater temple is hinting at with I consciously change and evolve, growth. Yeah, it's like you guys need some nurturing and gentleness right now. And the search for love. Now let's look at the love stuff again, because autumn fell on the lovers. Yeah, oh yeah, by the way, re-energize, growth, another hair. I guess you guys are growing hair. Renewal. I just thought of something funny, but it's not appropriate for YouTube. Anyway, renewal, okay? The contentment was giving me community leader vibes, to be honest with you. But renewal, growth, and re-energize are kind of vibing with each other. And I feel like this is the part where you guys need that rest, okay? And this guy is like really standing out to me. Like, I think you guys have an intense gaze, or there's something about your eyes, or the way that you stare. Again, you have like a kind face. Remember I mentioned the face before? Like, I feel like something about your face, you guys. You have a likable face. That's nice. You guys have an attractive face. Applause to you. Applause to you. Okay, back to the love stuff, because that seems to be the last part of your reading. And I said that I didn't want to keep you guys here for long, but I think I may. I don't know if this has turned into an hour or not. Caleb, you tell me, whoever you are. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Bringing it back. Okay, no. Okay, back to the lovers. It's funny. It goes... Joop. And autumn. And you know what's funny? This kind of looks like a heart a little bit. Do you guys see it? Yeah, there's this, it almost feels like you guys could be looking for I feel like you guys are looking for someone who is similar to you guys, but also not. It's like maybe you guys aren't even 100% certain in that regard of what, like, I feel like you guys know what you want with traits, but when it comes to like, oh, this person is similar to me or this person is opposite to me, I feel like that's when it gets a little like, in the gray area for you guys, because it almost seems like you guys want somebody who is complementary to you. So they do seem to have like the traits like where you lack, they have, and where they lack, you have, right? So like where you may be burning, like I was saying, with that excess heat energy that can happen for you, like the excess inner fire, right? And it can sometimes lead to maybe missing meals and stuff like that, because it's just you're working on the grind. This person could be the opposite and be more nurturing in a different way, in a cooling way, right? In a more water way. Like, even though this is a message from the, like, I don't know, you guys, this message has gone the way that it has gone, I guess. But even though the video is a little bit more ocean water themed, you guys have had, from my memory, the most fiery, or the most like heat, fire kind of energy. I'm not saying you're a fire sign or anything like that. It's just there is like that fire energy is coming through, or like that inner fire kind of stuff. So like that other person would be like the more cooling water. Maybe there's some calmness about them too, like what you are for others, this person is for you, you know? Yeah, something along those lines. But then you also have somebody who is similar, because then you have like it's like you guys are the sun and you want somebody who's like the moon, but you also want somebody who's like the sun, you know? So that's the way that I can describe it in fewer words. And I think there's a little bit of a conflict, or not conflict, but like sometimes I want this, sometimes I want that. And you know what? I feel like your person is like that. I feel like both of you guys can switch between the two, especially your person. Your person is kind of like a, yeah. Basically, let's just say you're going to be satisfied with this person. I know you guys are looking for love. Whether some of you realize it or not is a whole nother story. But there is a call for love in your life, and it feels like your heart is calling for home, and it's looking for home. Yes, there's home within yourself, but it's hoping for a home with somebody else too, because there's been a lot of doing things on your own. So I think that's another reason why you guys would like somebody that you can kind of have a partnership with. That's not like professional, but in your personal life. Yes, this person would rely on you just like other people rely on you, but you could also rely on them. So it's equal, you know? It would be a give and take, not just a you guys giving constantly, which is what you could be experiencing with the other people in your life, right? So that time will come, you guys. The right timing will come. It's a matter of time, okay? But before focusing too much on this, the biggest message here would be making sure that you stick to those boundaries, or you set those boundaries, even if you have to do it with yourself, right? Like set those rules with yourself to be like, no, I'm absolutely not letting another person into that, like through that door. It's not happening. Even if they knock and beg, I will not open that door because I need to rest, right? So you guys need that rest so that you can kind of keep moving forward and have this big growth and apparently grow hair. You need to sleep to grow hair for you guys. But yeah. And yes, autumn with the love stuff could be a time frame, but I don't like doing time frames, you guys, because time is always changing. So I don't want to promise like, oh yes, in the autumn there will be love, because this could be different things too. But yeah, group 4, that was your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was a ride. Thank you for an interesting reading. Thank you for the laughs, group 4. I think you guys are probably kind of funny as well. Well, you probably are, right? Since you're also charming. Sorry. It's all the talking now that I've been doing with talking. My throat is dried out. Yeah, group 4, that was your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, I would appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up. Also, I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. Okay, you know what? Group 4, if you can either share whatever it is that you want to share. Like, I asked a few questions during your reading, so I'd love to hear the answers to that. Or you could just say hi. Or you guys could just comment, Caleb, we need you. That would be funny if that turned into a thing. If not, that's totally cool too. But yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. If you guys are interested. Oh, by the way, also, if you enjoy the content that I post, I would appreciate if you subscribe to the channel, as it helps the channel out. You don't have to though. Just request for those of you guys who are interested. Also, if you guys are interested in a personal private reading or a custom crystal bracelet, you can either reach out to me through the contacts page on my website, through my email. I also have an Instagram that I hardly ever use, but you know, you can reach out to me on there too. And I will get back to you. I had an issue recently for some reason with somebody who reached out to me for a personal reading through my website. And when I tried to respond to their email, it keeps saying the email doesn't exist. So if you happen to be in this group, sorry girl, I'm like working on trying to respond to you, but for some reason Google is not letting me. So I'm working on it. Okay, I'm not ignoring your email. But yeah, so you guys can reach out to me for any of those things. And that is it. Group 4, it's been a pleasure. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Okay, guys, I'm sending you guys so much love, so much light, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, group 4.